was maiden fair and young on the pleasant banks of Lee. No bird that in the greenwood sung was half so blithe and free. I hung their beads with flying feet, no love sang me his queen. Till down the glen rolled Sarsfield's men, having wore the jackets green.
Young Donald sat on his gallant grey, like a king on a royal seat, and my heart leapt out on his regal way to worship at his feet. Oh love, had you come in those colours dressed, and would the soldiers mean? I'd have laid my head on your throbbing breast for the sake of your jacket green.
Well, no hoarded wealth did my love own, the good sword that he bore, but I loved him for himself alone and the colours that he wore. For had he come in England's red to make me England's queen, I would rove the high green hills instead, for the sake of the Irish green.
When William stormed with shot and shell at the walls of Garryowen, in the breach of death my Donald fell, and he sleeps near the treaty stone. That breach the foeman never crossed, while he swung his broadsword keen. But I do not weep my darling lost, for he fell in his jacket green.
When Sarsfield sailed away I wept, as I heard the wild call. He fell dead as a man who slept in the fields of Garryowen. While Ireland held my Donald West, no wild sea rolled between, till I would fold him to my breast on Rhodes' Irish green.
My soul has sobbed like a wave from woe, and shattered brimstone brave, for I buried my heart in his grave below, for his and for Ireland's sake. And I cry, make way for the soldier's bride, in your halls of death, sad queen, for I long to rest by my pool of sight, and wrapped in the folds of green.
And I saw the Shannon's purple tide go by the Irish town, as I stood in the breach by young Donald's side, when England's flag went down. And now it lowers when I see the sky, a blood-red curse between. I weep, but it is not to women's sighs who raise her Irish green.
Oh, Ireland, says thy lonely soul, and land beats the winter sea. But sadder and higher the wild waves roll, o'er hearts that break for thee. Yet we shall come to our heartless foes, and the bones in the dusty sea. So Irish maids love none but those who wear the jackets
You're listening to the Rebel Rebel podcast with Rory Carson. Tasha Vigeshtak, leis an fád crúlaí Rebel Rebel le Rory McCarson.
Well, hello, folks. What's the crack? How's all doing? Welcome to another Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast, folks. Back in the studio this week. I say apologies for not being here last week, but it was our little Maeve's first birthday party, so it was what a great day. So it did. So thanks for all the lovely well wishes and all. If you can imagine being up one of those busy kids play places for 2 hours, it was absolute mayhem. But yeah, you gotta do these things. So yeah, folks, welcome along. As usual, if you're watching on Facebook today, please share the stream to any of your groups, Republican groups, Celtic related groups, Irish music groups. Share it, your own stream, whatever, folks. Just get the word out far and wide to say I have over 16,000 followers on Facebook, and due to the sort of the nature of the music that I play on the show, the stuff I post on my page, that has been severely restricted by Facebook. The vast majority of my followers, I don't see the stuff that I post because of this busy crap that Mark Zuckerberg is doing, busy just silencing people. It's basically it's a nightmare. So I need to get all users, folks, to share the stream for me. So please share it. If you're watching on YouTube today, folks, you can just copy and paste the link and post it on any of your social media pages. Also, so we're always trying to build up the Twitter feed. So if you're watching on Twitter, folks, please share or retweet the stream if you can. It'd be much appreciated. So yeah, if you are watching today, folks, I would advise you to jump onto the YouTube page now, just while we're talking a bit of crap. And if you could subscribe to the page and like the page, it'd be much appreciated. Hit the wee bell icon. It means anytime I go live, you'll be notified straight away. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, the show never gets cut off. The show is likely to be cut off Facebook today, probably at least 2 or 3 times. But if you're watching on YouTube, it usually stays on the whole show, apart from one very odd time if we play 18 Brits or something like that there, which we can't mention anymore, so shh. Yeah, folks, so this is Rebel Sundays with myself, Ro. Just myself this week, no guests or anything. You'd be glad to hear. So we'll jump into the comments. I've just seen them all popping up here. My computer's a bit slow today, so we'll see who we'll have tuned in. Let's see. Right, up first, Jim McCaff watching on YouTube. What's the crack, Jim? Hail yourself. See, he says, respect you more. Ro family comes first. Absolutely first class. James McMullen today watching on Facebook. Hi, everyone. Joseph McGuy. What's the crack? Joseph up in Derry there. Hail. Steve there over in Germany. How you doing, mate? What's the crack? Hello, Ro, and everyone. Regards from Berlin. See, Derek Delaney, afternoon, Ro, and the gang from rain-soaked Dublin. Yes, mate, well, it's pissing down in Belfast here as well. You'll be glad to hear. So I literally had to run out of the van there, all my stuff, my laptop bag on top of my head, trying not to get soaked. So so I think it's the same all over. Neil Costigan's watching today, 8:02 a.m. from a cloudy Staten Island. Well, it's still not raining over, mate, so you're winning, so you are, but cheers for tuning in, anyway, mate. Good man. Joseph says, pouring down in Derry as well. James Devin McClave, what is the crack? James over there in Birmingham, good man yourself. Cheers for tuning in today. Ronan McDonald up in Derry there. Afternoon, Ro, from not so sunny Coatbridge for the weekend, mate. Cheers, lucky you over in Coatbridge. Fair play to you. Ciara Griffin down there watching in Slee do this afternoon in your shade today, missus, with a wee pint. Lee Curry is watching today on YouTube. Good afternoon. Happy Rebel Sunday to all. Yes, mate. Cheers. Edward Strain. How you doing, mate? Hello from Bells Hill. Ray Callahan. Where'd you go, Ray? Hi all. Listening from Lanzarote with Frank and the 2 Corans. Fair play to yous. Absolutely raging. But listen, we're counting the days down to Tenerife coming October. So seeing Halloween when it's absolutely battling over here, it's pissing down, it's freezing. We'll be sitting in a nice pool over Halloween week, and I will definitely be rubbing it in, okay? So there we go. Joseph P. McIver, how you doing? Good morning, Ro from Rebel, Philadelphia. Good man. Kieran Max says the Cajon needs brought back into the studio the 25th of October. May or may not be a Lizzie song to come out. Well, listen, we might have to talk about that there later on. So we might make that. Valerie Delaney, how you doing? Valerie, what's the crack? David Watson today watching on Facebook. Farewell to Blackie. David Watson from Chesterfield in England. Good man yourself. James McMullen, so good he has 2 second names. I'll be pleased to know it's nice and sunny over in Birmingham. I doubt that very much, mate. Doubt it very much. Right, so listen, folks, we'll go do a wee tune here first. Normally, when any sort of black man or anybody sort of passes away, we'll always sort of do this here song. So we'll do, it's obviously a great song. We're going to do the Callie's Men version of this song. So it is from their album. So just a big shout out to Donald Nellis from Derry, who passed away over just on Friday, I think it was. So thinking of Mary and all the clan and Derry there, folks. Just seen a lot of people posting over the weekend. So we're going to do this here song here, folks, starting off today. This one is for Donald McNallis up in Derry, folks, who passed away. He will probably be being waked here up in Derry as we speak. So here we go. This is the first tune of the day, folks, on Rebel Sundays, spicy for Donald and all his family.
They call it the law, we call it internment, apartheid, partition, conscription, and silence. It's the law that they use to keep you and me where they think we belong. They hide behind steel with bulletproof glass, machine guns and spies. And to tell us who suffer the tear gas torture, bleeding to wrong. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning. No time to show tears about fears in the morning. No time for goodbye, no time to ask why. When the sun of the siren is the cry of the morning. They suffered the torture, rotted in cells, they went crazy, wrote letters and died. And the limits of pain they endured, it was loneliness got them instead. And the courts gives in to justice as given by well-mannered thugs. And sometimes they fought for the will to survive, and most times just to wish they were dead. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning. No time to show tears about fears in the morning. No time for goodbye, no time to ask why. When the sun of the siren is the cry of the morning. They came for young Francis Hughes and his cousin Thomas McElway as well. Like they came for Patsy O'Hara, Tony Taylor and some of their friends. In Boston, Chicago, Saigon, San Diego, Palestine, Iraq, Afghanistan, Bogota, Derry, and Belfast. And those places they never made headlines, this never ends. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning. No time to show tears about fears in the morning. No time for goodbye, no time to ask why. And the sun of the siren is the cry of the morning. To your sisters and brothers, the world defy each other. For they say you get used to the warmth, and that doesn't mean that this war isn't on. For the fish need the sea to survive, like your people need you. And those death squads can only be answered to them if first you can be answered to you. Well, there's no time for love if they come in the morning. No time to show tears about fears in the morning. No time for goodbye, no time for miles go by. And the sun of the siren, sun of the siren, son of the siren, is the cry of the morning.
There we go. That is the sound of No Time for Love there, folks, from Callie's Man, from that phenomenal album recorded live in Derry there, folks. So yeah, that one's especially for the family of Donald McNallis from Derry, a great Derry Republican who very suddenly passed away there on Friday, I think it was. So say he'd be being mourned this weekend as we speak up in Derry. So condolences to all the clan and Derry folks on that their sad passing of Donald. So let's see what we'll go do next. Just another text here. So John, Laura's uncle, so I know they're over for the weekend, so he says, hello mate, during your podcast, you please give a shout out to Claire Devine from Perth. Hope you're well, John. And John, I hope I'll go and try and call up and see you and Aileen here whenever one of the shows finished. I know you've been over all weekend, I haven't called over to the house, but listen, you're lucky I'm here today, folks, because I took a real bad bug. I actually had to come out of work there on Friday, so it was. Went to bed on Thursday night, feeling grand, brilliant. Laura had picked up something. She went to bed really early, all shivering or whatever. I woke up Friday morning, literally my legs, couldn't get out of bed, my legs were gone. But I said I had to go into work because we were a bit short-staffed. Tried to go into work, literally by 9 o'clock, I'm sitting in the lorry with the heating blasting, shivering, just like, couldn't even hit the accelerator. I was driving down the M2 at 30 mile an hour, so I was with a 40-ton load in my lorry. So I phoned the boss and I said, I can't do this, I need to go home. So we're home, sweated it out in bed for the rest of the day. Still down yesterday. So lucky enough, had to go and do my gig last night, but I still wasn't feeling the greatest. But so that's why I haven't been over to the house, John. Don't want to give you whatever we have, pass it on, you know. But good to see us over from Perth for the weekend. So that's for John Nealing. Watching over in the in-laws' house today over in Glencolin Close. So yeah, folks, any more requests the other day? I'd say we're going to try and fit in as many of the requests you want today. Obviously, there's no guest today, so we'll have full 3 hours. So we'll have to get all the tunes in you want. Derek Delaney, the Armagh Sniper from Tony Boy Ray's album. Yep, we'll try and get that on. Let's see. Big Johan, the Swedish Provo. What's happening, my friend? Johan, listen, you still haven't explained what the crack was last week with this bloody... You were posting a video with some like cowboy reunion or something with a cowboy hat on. You were wearing a checkered shirt and you were doing line dancing and all. What was going on there? Very, very strange indeed. But you have to let me know. But yeah, so it's election day today in Sweden, so it is. There we go. 13 days to Bundoran. Folks cannot wait as well. So listen, well done to all the 3 winners who have won the wristbands on our show. I can't wait to see us all there. If any is still haven't decided if you're going to Bundoran now, folks, listen, have we watched this here video now, okay? And this should change your mind. The wristbands, folks, for the weekend are €50. So the only band on this video that isn't playing is Fianna, okay? So this, all the rest of the bands are playing. Obviously, but I think Gary, who's the lead singer from the band, he actually works on like the oil rigs. And as far as I know, he's been called in from the 10th of September, so he's not going to be able to take part. Obviously, he's their main singer of the band, so it's a shame. I was really looking forward to seeing Fianna. So watch this video, folks. If any want to get tickets, go on to the Hills Donegal Salt Lake Porters Festival Facebook page and contact Teresa or Karen, and they will sort you out with a link how you can buy tickets. But it's going to be a great weekend, folks. So not next weekend, but the weekend after, we're all going to be hitting sunny Bundoran for this phenomenal weekend.
Talk about Atlantis, how it's lost beneath the sea, and the grave of the unknown soldier, or the cry of the old banshee. Who was the man in the iron mask? Was Jack the Ripper set free? But ask them history. And if I could have built a wall around El Donegal, the north and south to keep them out, by God I'd build it tall. Casinos, chicken ranches, I'd legalise them all. We'd have our own Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Yeah, Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. White clubs and all night pubs, blackjack and roulette. Neil Blaney, Bridget Nielsen, Mike Tyson having a bet. In a show could then be known for his multi-millionaires, where Donald Trump would like a chunk to live in solitaire. And if I could, I'd build a wall around El Donegal, the north and south to keep them out, by God I'd build it tall. Casinos, chicken ranches, I'd legalise them all. We'd have our own Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Yeah, Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal.
Yes, folks, will be a cracking weekend there in Bundoran for the last weekend of September this year. So it hasn't been on for 3 years. I think 2019 was the last year we were there in Bundoran. So really looking forward to getting back. Say a great lineup of bands there. So it is. So say there's going to be a couple of things happening. So there is. There's 2 wee flyers here I want to put up. Okay, so you can let you see. I'm going to be taking part in a few gigs in Bundoran over that weekend. So the first one is going to be this one here. See on so the Saturday afternoon. Okay, I'll just get rid of this here wee banner at the bottom. So on the Saturday afternoon, folks, outside Paris, I'm going to do my annual sort of live podcast. So from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Outside Paris nightclub on the main street in Bundoran. Normally we do it outside the Central Hotel, which would want to be the main venues of the festival. But this year, they are taking part in it. Obviously, the hotel's closed down to guests because of the. They're taking in the Ukrainian refugees, so that isn't going to be part of the festival this year. So yeah, but I'm going to be outside, folks, from 1 o'clock right through to 4. Myself playing a few tunes, a couple of big dance songs, loads of rebel stuff. Hopefully, going to be having a few of the acts that are playing at the festival singing as well throughout the day. We'll just need to sort that out closer to the weekend. See who. One we can find at the lineup and who's we playing while I'm on and stuff. The other one, really looking forward to this one the next day. So it's going to be happening, folks, in the Allingham Arms Hotel on the Sunday. So there's Sunday the 25th. It's going to be a question and answer session plus a meet and greet with 2 Celtic greats. Alan Thompson, of course, who played for many, many years on the Martin O'Neill era, finalist in the UF Cup. And then Lisbon Lan, the great goalkeeper John Fallon, is going to be taking the seat as well. So I'm going to be hosting at there. So really looking forward to that. Basically asking both these guys a few questions and then we're going to be putting it out to the floor. So anybody that's there can basically put their questions into the guys as well. I'll be playing a few tunes throughout the day as well. So we're looking forward to that. So that's all part of the festival, folks. So the wristbands for the whole weekend are €50. It starts off on I'm actually trying to find the flyer here for it. If we can see if it's on here while I want to get up there's the flyer here. I'll just put this here up while I'm talking so you can see the lineup for the whole weekend. Let's see. So we'll just get this one off here. It's on the poster. I think there's one band that isn't playing, but obviously this was put out sort of before they had sort of pulled out. So it was. So let's see here. We got this here. So yeah. So it all takes place, folks, from Thursday. The 22nd, I think. So the first band is always on the Thursday night. So it is at the festival. One band, normally the Spirit of Freedom. So taking part. I'm so glad I've been playing a bit of a part in getting Shay Doolan here. If any of you have seen some of Shay's videos, folks, over the last few weeks, he's over in the Rock Bar there a while ago. He's going to be over again at the end of October. I have him over for a weekend in Derry and Donegal. So Shay Doolan, folks, Kelly's Men, who you just heard me playing at the start of the show, Anne Sparad, Damien Quinn, Spirit of Freedom, the O'Neill Alsop Moyle Flute Band, who, folks, that's who I was sort of introduced to Bundoran by the band. I first started going to the festival by playing the flute band, marched up and down the street, getting in there to the bars, and it was such a buzz, like so it was. And obviously then I'd sort of left the band, the podcast took over, and so grateful that Mickey asked me to come on board. Then we have Phoenix Folk, which is going to be, I think it's Eddie Higgins and Jim Sherry, Clover, who are going to be making their debut at the festival, coming all the way from County Limerick. Liam MacDonald from Newry is making his debut at the festival as well. Liam Lappin, who's a favourite at the festival, so he is, comes every year. And then myself, Roe from the Rebel podcast. And of course, you can see at the bottom, question and answers with Alan Thompson and John Fallon, who of course was one of the Lisbon Lions. So it's going to be a great weekend, folks. So get your wristbands now. They're €50 for the whole weekend. And just so you know, before you were able to sort of buy a wristband for one day or one gig, they've sort of stopped that there. So now you can only buy, if you want to go to the festival, folks, you have to buy a wristband for the whole weekend. That's just the way. It wasn't sort of financially feasible, I think, for the guys to do it. They let people in out, for one day and stuff. So that's the way it's working. But hopefully I'll go see a few years at the festival there, folks. Right, let's see. I'll jump back to a few more of these here comments. Let's see. Valerie says, hello to Carlan and Terry. John Boy McElhaney. Hello, I'm going. I can't wait. What's crack? Is the other John going? Is he? I love cats. Goodbye. He says, good to see you on. Jared from Swatra. Richard O'Callaghan today. Watson from Dublin. Another good Landoon man. How do you mate? Flan Colin. Any chance of a ballad of Colin Marks, please, Ro? Yes, I think there's a good version of Justice. Mother Damien Quinn will have a look at that there on, mate. Not a problem. We will be arriving in Bundoran on the Friday. Really looking forward to it. Good man. Can't wait to see you again. James Ray. Ro, could you please play the Bogside Volunteers? Steve, any chance of North Armagh Brigade from Bobby Fields? Right now, I think his album's on Spotify now as well, so I'll get a look for it there. Let's see, Joseph says, was watching Al's Pop last night, coming out of Atlantic Hotel last night, came out of the hotel, went around the van and back into the bar. See, Ray O'Callaghan, yep. Shay's playing Potter Browns end of October. Yes, we'll have my good self to thank for that there, so I do. So, yep, really pleased that Aidan has took Shay on one of the dates. So, yeah, when I sort of, I think Shay has some family over in Dublin, so he does. So, when we're looking for him to get him over for the first date for that weekend, so Aidan was the first person to text and straight away, yep, I'll have him, brilliant. So, yeah, Shay will go down really, really well, so he will. Flan Column. Brilliant lineup there. Dan Breen is looking for the two Brentons. Right, so two Brentons. We'll definitely get that on some stage today. Right, so here's the next song of the day. We'll do this one. And a big shout out to Marty Higgins. Says he finally has his album on Spotify, right? The Lullabies and Battle Cries. But the thing is, and I told him about this before, I don't think he believed me. So on his album, two of the songs are mixed up. So I think The Man Behind the Wire and Galtee Mountain Boy are mixed up. So number 10 on the album should be the Galtee Mountain Boy, but it's actually The Man Behind the Wire. It's the same on Spotify. But listen, we'll play it anyway because it's a great version the way Marty does it. So here's the next tune of the day, folks, on Rebel Sundays. Yeah, and just while I mention it, if you can see here the t-shirt I'm wearing today, folks. Where's it here? Here. Yes, this camera's back to front. So I'm wearing one of the special Time for Truth, Time for Justice t-shirts, folks. If any is today, maybe the event of the parade, it all, obviously, it's probably over by now. It all kicked off at 12 o'clock from Divis, and it was going down to the city centre. Again, just highlighting the ongoing injustice, folks, for the truth and justice that our families need. And you could probably highlight as well in the family there of Noah Donahue, folks, that another, probably the most recent one of this, again, the coroner has basically ruled in favour of the PSNI, holding back any files relating to this this case as a matter of national security, which is going, well, right, okay, something sus there straight away, you know. So listen, here we go. This is the next song of this, Marty Higgins, folks, on Rebel Sundays, and this is The Man Behind the Wire.
On Monday, the 9th of August, 1971, at 4:30 a.m, Irish men from all over the 6 counties were taken from their homes. Hundreds of these men were imprisoned without trial in Long Kesh concentration camp. This is a song born of the civil resistance campaign which followed their torment. This song is dedicated to those men who were in Long Kesh, the men behind the wire. Armoured cars with tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man must stand behind the man behind the wire. cars with tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Through the little streets of Belfast in the dark of early morn, British soldiers came marauding, wrecking little homes with scorn. Healers of their crying children, crying fathers from their beds, beating sons while helpless mothers watched the blood pour from their heads. Armoured cars with tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Not for them no judge or jury, or indeed a crime at all. Being Irish means we're guilty, so we're guilty one and all. Round the world the truth will echo, Cromwell's men they're here again. England's name again is sullied in the eyes of honest men. Armoured cars with tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Proud we march behind our banner, firm we stand behind our men. We will have them free to help us build a nation once again. On the people step together, proudly firmly on our way. Never fear and never falter, till the boys their home to stay. Armoured cars with tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Armoured cars with tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man will stand behind the man behind the wire.
There we go. That's the sound of the great Marty Higgins from Glenravel. Legendary Marty Higgins from Glenravel, County Antrim, who's currently over in Santa Ponsa, living it up. The main man over there at the Dubliner Bar, along with Darren Cahill and that guy they have, I keep forgetting his name, from Australia, who's over playing the fiddle. Is it Oates? Mark Oates, I think you call him. But there we go. Oates has had to get rid of this here, and I just found out I was on the screen there. Where am I? There we go, back on the screen, folks. So listen, you may have noticed I put a post up there on what day was it? What day did Lizzie pop her clogs? Was it Friday or something? So obviously I got a few texts. Let's say few, probably got to about 7 or 8 from people saying, so when are you doing the live podcast for Lizzie, Dan, all this here, blah blah, and a lot of jokes and stuff, and I've seen a lot of memes and all people post over the weekend. So I sort of felt the need to put a post out on the main Facebook page and Instagram, just saying, listen folks, obviously I've had a few people text me saying, look, when we'll be doing a special one-off podcast for this here, and I sort of felt the need to say, listen, look, I'll not be doing one, and I'll not sort of be mentioning it on the show on Sunday either. And don't be wrong, in no way am I mourning this woman's death, folks. I mean, definitely not. Like it's when you think about what the whole royal family is, and what the monarchy stands for, and what obviously with the royal family being the head of the British Army, and what the British Army have done to our people here in Ireland, it's sickening, you know. It's so. Probably rightfully a lot of people will be celebrating her death and mocking it and stuff, whatever. And but to me, I just don't get celebrating, basically, and glorifying somebody dying. You know, people will say, "Oh, I should look what glorified Maggie Thatcher and all these other people that died, whatever." And that's probably an argument. But listen, you look at sort of Maggie Thatcher. She was the head of the British government. You could look at it and say she was solely responsible for the death of the 10 hunger strikers, for the death of so many other volunteers, like and Loughgall, as well, for the shoot to kill policy, you know, and people will say, well, so you're being a hypocrite. You would say, oh, it's okay to celebrate her death, so don't be mocking us for celebrating the Queen's death. But my whole thing was, when I look back at when Bobby Story died there, Martin McGuinness died, and such the horrible things I seen posted all over Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, all these other places, about from loyalists and other just low-life scum, busy posting some really awful stuff about two great men, you know, people who I would class as heroes to me. Like, it wasn't very nice, and to me, it's by going out there and shooting fireworks off and having cavalcades and beating the horns and all this here and whatever, and having parties to celebrate somebody's death, is you're lowering yourself to the eminence, you know what I mean? And I think as Republicans, we shouldn't do that there, you know. It's, don't get me wrong, say, I'll not be mourning this woman's death at all, whatever. It's and she's an 86-year-old woman, I couldn't care less, whatever, like, it's I just don't care, but I'll not be going out and purposely using my brand and the thing of the podcast to basically celebrate her death. Okay, so just so for the people that did text me and were sort of saying, come on, you have to do something special, I'll not be doing it. That's just my stance, folks. So if that annoys anybody, any of you, I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel. So hopefully you understand about it, you know. So, right, what's the next tune? We'll jump on these a few comments, see if you come here before we do the next song. Dan Breen says, I'm sick to the back teeth of what a load of shit it is. Well, it is. I mean, I suppose with TV as well, you can't even watch. Literally, I haven't watched anything that's recorded now, because everything, turn on every channel, it's just bloody Queen, King, load of balls, you know. Stephen Holbrook, you're 100% right, row lad. Joseph McGow says, it was a nice wee ding-dong you had. I agree. She was 96. We're bigger than this. Ciara Griffin says, Ro, could you please play Only Our Rivers Run Free from Kathleen Largy, please, for our Sean. James says, yeah, well said. Right, no problem. Well, the next song we'll go to, somebody asked me how to play the Armagh Sniper. So this is actually the first song from Tony Boy Ray's new album, his live album. So we've been playing a lot of this stuff on the show. It's a great album. So it's actually, I like the way Tony does this one. So I'll try and jump back up to the start of the comments and see who it was that asked for it. And see, I'm trying to find it here. Let's see, where are you? Fields got watered. Right, heel. Who was asking for the Armagh Sniper? Where is it? David Watson, Port Glasgow. Heel. Cannot see it. Right, so whoever it was, jump back up and tell me who it was, and we'll give you a shout out. Here we go. This is Tony Boy Ray with the Armagh Sniper.
Let's hear those Apache sounds there.
In South Armagh there was a man who had a long-range gun. He said, I'll show them army boys there's nowhere they can run. He was a South Armagh sniper. He'd pick a spot and wait the whole day through, until the brick patrol came into view. The Armagh Sniper never missed his mark. Lethal in the daytime, deadly in the dark. If he gets you in his sight, you better say your prayers. So British troops go home, borders beware. Soon as her reputation spread through Ulster like wildfire, the list of British casualties just kept on getting higher. It was a Southbar sniper. He made the British forces think again, and wandering at night through Trustby Glen. The arm sniper, the Brits were terrified. It never pin him down, no matter how they try. If he gets you in his sights to make widows of your wives, so Brits go home while you still have your lives. Now in London and in Dublin they pretend to speak of peace. They say give us your weapons and we'll make this bloodshed cease. But the Southbar sniper, he's heard the lies and double talk before. He won't be fooled or cheated anymore. The arm sniper hasn't gone away. His rifle's all them loaded, he's just waiting for the day. If the British government should break the word for them, the sniper will go back to work again. I'm coming back, boys. Oh yes, I fucking am. Yeehaw!
Yeah, there we go. Sort of that's the Armagh sniper there from the great Tony Boy Ray, recorded live in Glasgow. Just seen as wee yeehaw there. Just talking about yeehaws, folks. When Annie is at the Garth Brooks concert at Croke Park, I've seen a few videos there from Friday night. Look absolutely phenomenal. Like such a, I think this thing's been in planning for so long. It was always going to be a great show. Like, but Garth Brooks, like what an entertainer. All I've seen, but over the last few weeks, is people selling tickets every single day. I'm seeing all over Facebook and all on Instagram, people selling their tickets for Garth Brooks. I think the issue was people couldn't get hotels. The prices for the hotels was just crazy, and I think that's more to do with the hotels in Dublin. They've seen sort of demand. I mean, well, we're going to bump the prices up, and absolute nuts. But it didn't deter the 80,000 people that went to the gigs last night on Friday, but looked absolutely brilliant. Would love to have been there. So if any is there, folks, let me know. I say Joseph McGowan says, forget all talk about the pensioner who passed away in Britain. We all have bigger fish to fry. Indeed we do, indeed mate, definitely. Frank Holmes says, Hon Tony Boy, he does a great version of the Galway Shaw, indeed. So he does. Seamus Gallagher says, you're right, Ro, don't lower yourself like the zombie scumbags. Out of Cats says, yeah, well said, Jeremy Swatra. Who else do I have here? Derek, was it you that asked that one there? Derek, Gurmail Millet, Mo Macara, great tune, definitely was indeed. Right, so who asked for Scapegoats? There it was there. So James McMullen say the man has so his name is so good, he spelled it twice. So he has. So he was asking for this one on YouTube. So we normally play the Marty Higgins version of this song. So I love Marty's version, but I'm going to do the original, the Christy Moore version. This is one of his. There's like two versions. He does a live version, but I think the crowd overpowers the song. On the live version of this here song, some of his songs are really good live, but on this version, the crowd just cheering and clapping over the top of it really overpowers it. So we'll go to the studio version. So for James McMullen, again, this is for you. This one is Scapegoats. And again, I know sort of James Dan McClave there, he's over in Birmingham. Sort of probably the song sort of feels a bit for him as well, being stuck over there. Probably somebody being of Irish heritage, being over there as well. Can't be very easy, so I can't. So I'm sure at the time anybody over in Ireland or living in Birmingham when this happened would have been a target, you know. So here we go. This is spicy for James there. Two Jameses, I'll say. This is Christy Moore, folks, with Scapegoats on Rebel Sundays.
You Callahan, Paddy Hill, Jerry Hunter, Johnny Walker, Billy Powell, Dick McElkenny, that's their name.
train. Fate was dealing them a cruel hand. Hugh Callahan was walking home through the evening rain, not knowing what lay in store for him. You'll find traces of nitro on cigarettes and matches, on Formica tabletops and index playing cards. When forensic found traces on the hands of these 6 men, and the police drove up from Birmingham, and they were hoping the case was closed. Have you ever seen the mugshots that were taken after 48 hours in custody? Battered and bruised, haunted looks upon their faces. The judge accepted they confessed willingly. Please take another look at what you see. If you tell me my family are being terrorized, keep me awake for 6 days and nights, confused and terrified. In the lonely dark of night, I'll swear that black is white, if you let me just lie down and close my eyes. I'll say anything if you let me close my eyes. Scales of justice, balance up your act. Am I talking to myself or to the wall? Hugh Callahan, Paddy Hill, Jerry Hunter, Johnny Walker, Billy Power, Dick McElkenny, scapegoats all. For 16 years they've been talking to the wall.
There we go. That is the sound of Christy Moore with Scapegoats. Yeah, a couple people are just saying the sound was a bit ropey in that song. Is it everybody else, folks? Feels it was just Stevie and Dan had said there the sound a bit ropey. Was it very loud or something? I know, like when we play that song, it was a bit louder than the rest of the tracks. So it was. So see, the problem is when you're playing a lot of MP3s, some songs are from Spotify, some are from YouTube, some are from like my It sounded like one of my 70s LPs, but maybe it's just that track in from the it was just that one song in. Maybe not their one song, because then again, it just could be the recording of the song itself. It's a lot of these songs I play, they're from like sort of old albums and stuff, and then when they're put on the MP3 as well, the sound distorts a wee bit. So it does. So my apologies of the sound did sound a wee bit of a lot of vibration. Couldn't hear from my singing. Well, there you go, folks. Very, very sorry about that there. Right, let's see. Sounded like okay, Martin not on. Right, so somebody had said, where is this the spanner? Jim Cat, where is the spanner of the day? Listen, look, not to worry. He is obviously you see me wearing the t-shirt here, the Time for Truth, Time for Justice. So Marty is actually doing he's stewarding the parade today, so he is. So don't worry, all's grand. He actually took this picture of Marty last night. I was doing a gig over in O'Donnell, so it was actually for the local West Rock and White Rock Memorial Garden, a fundraiser for them. So Marty was down at it, and he had said, listen, just put that picture up there, let people know I'll not be on tomorrow, I'll watch it later on, but Elaine's on. So listen, Elaine's grand, she's in the house, as far as I know. She's getting better, so she is, but there's no issue, don't worry. That's what the reason Marty isn't here today, because he's stewarding the parade. That's the only reason, folks. So don't be worrying. But I'm sure he'd be glad for all of your comments there. So he will. Neil, you're right. I be sure to mention this here as well. Yeah. So folks, today is the 21st anniversary. 21 years, crazy, of the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center. Can you pick an appropriate song to dedicate to almost 3,000 people that died that day? Lots of clatter rings found in the rubble. Yeah, crazy, mate. It's amazing when you look at probably this year sort of anniversary has probably been overshadowed because of Lizzie popping their clogs, you know, where every single news outlet for 24 hours a day over the next lot of weeks is going to be covered by basically her, basically Dan. So it is, and this 21 years, folks, from from September 11th. I'm sure that's one of them things that everybody can remember where they actually were when this happened. You know, people can go, I was there, I was in work, I was doing this here, whatever, or I was doing that there, and you know just exactly where you were when this thing happened. But amazing, just still crazy to think that this here actually happened. So yeah, I think I've seen Neil over the day over there in Staten Island, New York, and all the rest of the people in America that watched the show. All of the police officers, firefighters, people in that building that lost their lives, all the people on the two planes that lost their lives, just absolutely horrific. So it is. So yeah, thinking of everybody in America today. Yeah, so we will try and think of something today, Neil, to play in honour of those people. So thanks for bringing that up. Joseph says, Rory, great show, and yes, it was a bit of an interference, or maybe a bit too loud, but brilliant tunes. Yeah, so I think it was just that one there, so it was that one Christy Moore one. So, say, folks, my apologies. I think it was that one track. So it was. So, say, the problem is when you're playing so many songs, when songs are really older and they may have been on vinyl originally or whatever, and then they're transferred on like a CD, then the CD is transferred on the MP3, and each time you transfer that song and transfer it onto a different sort of digital platform, it loses its quality, you know. So that's probably why it sounded so bad, that version. So, say, my bad, folks. I'm sorry. Right. So, who was asking for Bobby Fields? Let's see. We'll jump up and see who it was. Somebody was looking for the North Armagh Brigade. So, let's see, where was it? I'll just look back up on the comments here. Where were you? You play that's what Kier. Yeah, Kier, we're gonna play your song after this next one, alright? So not a problem, howl out there. Right, so yeah, so Steve over in Germany in Berlin, he's looking for the North Armagh Brigade by Bobby Fields. So yeah, it's great to see that all Bobby's music now is now on Spotify, so you can find it, folks. Just search for Bobby's Rebel Music on Spotify, and as far as I know, everything that he's sort of done is on there. So this one's for Steve, another regular supporter of the show and the podcast in general, who has bought a lot of my merchandise over the years. So cheers, Steve, to you for that there. This is for you, mate, over in Germany today. This is Bobby Fields, folks, with the North Armagh Brigade.
Here's to the volunteers who have fought for the North Armagh Brigade. Your daring deeds are well known around the country wide. For you fought the Brits and the RUC and hated UDR. One night along the Killade Road, to UDR jeeps that drove. When the red light lit, oh, the mortars let rip and blew away to UDR. So up the RAF of North Armagh, oh, the bravest fighting men we know. One September night at the Mall Courthouse, they blew British justice away. Long the night to them, those brave fighting men, their comrades in Longcars lay. Oh, they struck a blow for freedom when they blew the courthouse away. Drumcree 1 year and the Brits were here at the Shambles area. Along came the RAF in a metro car, defending their people there. Oh, the Brits ran quick when the bullets let rip from the provost in the car. Here's to the volunteers who have fought for Your daring deeds are well known around the country wide. For you fought the Brits and the RUC, and they hated UDR. So up the Raff on North Armagh, oh, the bravest fighting men we know.
There you go. That is the North Armagh Brigade by Bobby Field. Sorry, folks. I was looking at something on the Facebook there. So listen, just while I see John posted there, he was looking about Viva la Quinta Brigada, basically playing it for the commemoration for the International Brigade. But it wasn't meant to be a parade. It was meant to be a commemoration. It was meant to take place in Glasgow yesterday, but it ended up being cancelled. So listen, I'm going to read out the statement here from Cards and Hearn and go try and read it, because it's very small. Next one, I'll just see if I can get a better thing, because they've put a statement up, so they have, but it's not actually, it's. Yeah, so here we go. We'll go read it just word for word, just so you know, folks, what happened, right? So this is from Cards and Hearn, Scotland, okay? Our statement on the events that took place earlier today. So today, Cards and Hearn plan to hold a small march and rally to commemorate, so when they say today, folks, was yesterday. This is what they posted, okay? So Cards and Hearn plan to hold a small march and rally to commemorate and celebrate the memory of the working class men and women of the International Brigades from Scotland, Ireland and beyond, who travelled to Spain to fight the fascism and defend democracy during the Spanish Civil War. So word reached us yesterday of plans by reactionary and fascist elements to mount a counter-demonstration in order to disrupt this event. The call to mobilise that was circulated on social media, and messages and apps seen by Cards and Hearn is custom littered with racist references such as Fenian bastards, and encouraged those in attendance to participate in Fenian bashing. Justification for such action apparently came from alleged insensitivities around the developments of the past few days, namely, obviously, the Queen, Dan. However, we've seen time and time again that these people need no excuse other than their deeply entrenched superiority complex and hatred for the Irish community to explain their behaviour. The same event, of course, attracted a counter-demonstration in 2019, while no such constitutional developments were occurring. So footage made available to us had shown that these elements were able to muster around 50 individuals, a crowd by some margin smaller than that which attempted to derail the event in 2019. So mostly derived from various right-wing football groups, who they were intent on causing public disorder. So it is they who were intent on engaging in criminal behaviour, and it is they who posted the threat of disruption to the local community in much the same manner as they did when rampaging through the city under escort from Police Scotland while challenging racist anti-Irish slogans in 2021. So Police Scotland's solution to a small problem posted by this gathering was to invoke Section 12 of the Public Order Act and to ban the commemoration, full stop. This is an appalling abuse and amounts to nothing more than appeasement of fascists, with state power being wielded to crush political dissident, to reinforce a culture of obedience to the hegemony of the establishment. So apparently apologies to Franny from reading this here, a few of the big words I can't pronounce. So Cards and Hearn will not be bullied into silence. Republicans have the right to organise politically and will continue to do so. So basically what Cards and Hearn is saying is that they know why this was cancelled, and it's nothing to do with basically these right-wing fights. It's all about the Police Scotland think that the whole country and Scotland and everywhere else should be mourning for the death of Lizzie, and such commemorations like this here shouldn't be taking place in this time of so-called mourning, and that's why the commemoration was banned. So that's Police Scotland there for you folks. So that's why the commemoration yesterday for the International Brigade was cancelled by the police. So hopefully you got the drift of that there. But if any of you sort of didn't hear me reading through it there, go to the Cards and Hearn Scotland Facebook page and you can read the full statement, folks. Right, Brian Taggart says, Ro, when do the tickets go on sale for the gig in the Fallon's Bar in November? So we can book hotel and get a pair of tickets. Keep up the great work. Brilliant as usual. Right, I think he's talking about this here. Let's see, hold on a second. So this is another gig we're going to be, well, I've been asked to take part in. So it's going to be on, let's see, get rid of this banner at the bottom. This is going to be on Saturday the 26th of November. So folks, a lot of you know that there's normally a big Celtic Mania event. Always takes place in the Devonish over this period each year. And it's the sort of, in conjunction with Ernua Flute Band. And they're obviously anniversary every year for Pierce Jordan, his anniversary. So this year is actually, it's the 30th anniversary of Pierce's death. So it is. So this year they decided to sort of go obviously a bit smaller and make it more sort of compact. Obviously the Devonish is a big hall. It's a massive hall to fill. So this year it's going to be in the Fallon's Club, folks, on Saturday the 26th. So it's the week before my gig in the Rock. So it is. On the night it's going to be Bick McFarland, the Irish Brigade, and then there's going to be a battle of the bands between Ernua, who's run the event, and the Maxi, the volunteer Sean McElvenna flute band from Glasgow, and I'll be doing a bit of DJing as well throughout the night at the end of the night. So folks, tickets are £10, and their doors open at 7 o'clock. So you want tickets, folks, contact the Ernua Flute Band Facebook page or any of their members. As far as what I've told by Mackie, this is a ticket-only event. You can't pay in on the night, so if you want to go, you need to get a ticket for it. So go and check out the Ernua Republican Flute Band Facebook page, and you can get your tickets from there. As far as I know, you can pay by PayPal or whatever, so you can. So yeah, check out that there, folks. So that's going to be on Saturday the 26th of November in the Fallon's Club, and this is the volunteer Pierce Jordan 30th anniversary commemoration weekend. And of course, on the Sunday they're going to have their parade as usual, which will probably start off in Turf Lodge, I think, marches down the road and finishes up at the Pierce's mural on the side of the wall, just outside where he was murdered, shot in the back by the RUC on the Falls Road. Basically 30 years ago, folks. Crazy to think that was 30 years ago. So it was absolutely nuts. Yeah, so there you go, Brian. If you want to get tickets for their gig, you need to contact the members of Ernua Flute Band. Go and check out their Facebook page, right, mate? So I hope that there helps. And don't forget, folks, the following week, which is our gig on Saturday the 3rd of December. If you haven't got your tickets yet, get them now. It's the end of year fans night out for all the supporters and fans of the Rebel podcast, and of course this show, Rebel Sundays. This is definitely a bit smaller than we originally planned, but we'll not get into that. It's still a bit raw, folks, for me. We don't like talking about why we had to cancel the original gig, but it had to be cancelled. If you all know the reasons. So we're welcoming back Clover Rebel Band from County Limerick, folks, who are going to be officially launching their album that night. It was recorded last year at the Big Fans Gathering in the PD. So, of course, it's been a whole year now. The CD is more or less nearly ready, so it should be ready to be for sale that night. So on the night, it's going to be Clover Rebel Band, and then Kieran Mack, who's obviously a bit of a favourite in the rock, local lad. Kieran's going to be doing a few tunes at the start, and then I'll be playing a few more songs that night, obviously, that I did last year, playing a bit at the start, and obviously before Clover, and then I'll be doing a few songs at the end. So tickets for that, folks, are £10. You can go to my Rebel podcast Big Cartel page, or just send me a wee PM, or if you want to just pay in on the door on the night, you can, folks. So hopefully we'll get the event sold out and see as many of you there as possible. Right, so back to a few comments, and then we'll get the next song on the day. Folks, it's just gone 2:05, so the first hour is gone already. See, James Devon McClave says, looking forward to seeing you all at the Fans Gather in the Rock. Yes, mate, it'll be good to see you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Joseph says, yeah, and that's shocked. We all have to be pulled by Scottish Cops, MI5 and Special Branch. John Boy McElhenney, the event went ahead, didn't know the Republican part was cancelled. Yeah, well, that's what part. I'm just going by what Franny there and the Cardinal Hearn put up at John Boy. So that's what I sort of said. Right, so next song, we'll go to this one here. So obviously we were talking there about the International Brigade, so we'll do this one here. And as I said, hopefully this doesn't get cut off by Facebook. The odd time it does. There's certain Christy Moore songs that they're great with a crowd in them, and certain ones that aren't. You know, this one definitely is one. So this is Christie's version of Viva La Quita Brigada. It was recorded in the Barlands in Glasgow. When you hear obviously the crowd coming in this song and they're booing and all whenever he mentions about the clergy and all, it's really sort of up your spine. It's great. Here we go. So this is Christy Moore, folks, especially for John Boy who asked for it. And this is Viva La Quita Brigada, recorded live in the Barlands. This is Rebel Sundays.
And 10 years before I saw the light of morn, a comradeship of heroes was laid. From every corner of the world came sailing the 15th International Brigade. They came to stand beside the Spanish people to try and stem the rising fascist tide. Franco's allies were the powerful and wealthy. Frank Ryan's men came from the other side. Even the olives were bleeding as the battle for Madrid had thundered on. Truth and love against the force of evil, brotherhood against the fascist love. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no passer on the pledge that made him fun. Adelante is the crier on the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. Bob Hillard was the Church of Ireland pastor. From Killarney across the Pyrenees he came. From there he came a brave young Christian brother. Side by side they fought and died in Spain. And Tommy Woods at 17 died in Cordova. With the Vienna he learned to hold the gun. From Dublin to the Via del Rio, where they fought and died beneath the Spanish sun. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no passer on the pledge that made him fight. Adelante is the crier of the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. And the Irishman heard the call of Franco, joined Hitler and Mussolini too. A propaganda from the pulpit and newspaper had dug the field to gather up its crew. And the word came from the church support the Nazis. Then at last they failed again. The bishops blessed the blue shirts down in Galway as they sailed beneath the swastika to Spain. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no passer on the pledge that made him fight. Adelante is the crier of the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. And this song is a tribute to Frank Ryan. It's Conway and Vinnie Cody too. Peter Daly, Charlie Regan and Hugh Bonner. So many died at but never few. Danny Boyle, Leslie Brown and Charlie Dundee. Liam Thompson and Jim Strady from Short Strand. Jack Nelke, Tommy Patton and Frank Conroy. Jim Foley, Tony Fox and Dick O'Neill. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no passer on the pledge that made fun. Adelante is the crier of the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. Viva la Quinta Brigada, let us remember them tonight. Viva la Quinta Brigada, let us remember them.
There we go. That's the sound of Christy Moore with Viva la Quinta Brigada. It's by John Wayne McElhenney. It's a great version recorded live in the Barlands in Glasgow. It's one venue I've never ever been to. It's a concert obviously I would love to see. So it is somebody playing. There's been obviously the Wolf Tones have played there many times. Shabeen has played there. Charlie and the Boys play there every year. Christy Moore's played there a few times, but looks like a bit of a shade hole, like as a venue. But I think for a venue, the acoustics and all with the ceiling and stuff just looks like a great place to go and watch a gig in. Like, this is a bit of a random one here, but I'll ask Joseph McGowan. He says, I don't really know why he's asked me. He says, Ro, what do you think of the new Garda uniform? Have you seen it? Well, I actually have. I've seen it put. I think it was the guards from Clondalkin or something put a post up there last week and says it was like their night shift passing over to the day shift. So obviously the night shift was wearing the old uniform with the shirts and ties, whatever, and then the new guards are coming in this new sort of like sporty sort of like sportswear, sort of skin tight sort of t-shirts uniform. I think it's a bit like the new PSNI uniform as well. I have to say now it looks well on probably people that aren't a bit maybe tubby or flabby as myself, that have a bit of a six pack, but anybody else, it's not very flattering at all, I have to say. And exactly like the PSNI uniform as well. Definitely doesn't do anybody any favours that wouldn't be going to the gym a lot, I have to say. But there you go. So that's my thing on Joseph's question. Don't really know why I come up like, but there you go. It looks crap, definitely. John Boy says, this is why we need to show your show, Ro, before government tell us what we should be listening to. They're Dublin colours. Of course they are, mate, sure. It wouldn't be any other bloody colours with it. It looks well on models. I definitely know models from it. Derek, Ro, could you play Pierce Jordan by Gary Oak live in Potters? That's a version I have not heard. Where can you find that there? Let me know. I haven't heard that one. There's I know he does Pierce Jordan live in the Brazen Head with Earl Oak, but and there's a version he does. It's like a studio version, but I've never heard him record live in Potters. Now if it's on YouTube, I don't really tend to play versions of a band or a singer just singing recorded from a phone, because it isn't great. Do you know what I mean? For like playing on air like this here, it's not great quality. So where do you see the new postman's uniform? Oh yes, I'm sure John, your mate, will be sending me a few snaps anyway as soon as he gets it on, so he will, definitely. Right, so for Ciara, this next song, we'll go to this one here. She was looking for Kathleen Loggy, and I found your song there, Ray, as well, the Bogside Volunteers. So that's a song actually I've never heard, so it isn't, so it'll be a new one for me as well. So we'll play it there next. I found it there on Spotify, so we'll do that one on this one. So this is for Ciara Griffin, another great supporter of the show. She was looking for Kathleen Loggy, and this is Only Our Rivers Run Free, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
When apples still grow in November, when blossoms still bloom on each tree, when leaves are still green in December, it's then that our land will be free. I've wandered her hills and valleys, and still to my sorrow I see never known freedom, and only her rivers run free. I drink to the death of her manhood, those men who would rather have died rivers run free. Only our rivers run free.
Come gather round me, bonny boys, a story I will tell about the Battle of Bogside. I'm sure you know it well. 'Twas on the 12th of August in the summer of the year, when proudly I enlisted in the Bogside Volunteers. When proudly I enlisted in the Bogside Volunteers. I was standing at the corner with McGinley and O'Toole, for I haven't had a job, you know, since ever I left school. For jobs are scarce in Derry town for many a long dull year. So I was right material for the Bogside Volunteers. So I was right material for the Bogside Volunteers. Well, Paddy Murphy came to us excited, I can tell. Says he, the police have broken through, they're going to give us hell. But the boys are building barricades, and I'll tell you what I hear. They're looking for recruits today in the Bogside Volunteers. They're looking for recruits today in the Bogside Volunteers. When we got to the firing line, the fire was thick and fast, and there we found the volunteers determined to the last. There were none of them ran for shelter, there was none of them cringed for fear. For here were the boys who feared no noise, the Bogside Volunteers. For here were the boys who feared no noise, the Bogside Volunteers. The police were firing tear gas shells, they scattered all around. They said they had sufficient men to beat us to the ground. But we replied with petrol bombs and filled their hearts with fear. For they met their match in the Derry men and the Bogside Volunteers. They met their match in the Derry men and the Bogside Volunteers. We drove the police before us then like chaff before the wind. The air was thick with stones and bricks and it made an awful din. And every time the police withdrew, the boys sent up a cheer for civil rights and freedom and the Bogside Volunteers. For civil rights and freedom and the Bogside Volunteers. Well, now me story's ended and me pen I will lay down. But don't forget the 3 days fighting dear old Derry town. And talking of your Lancers and your Irish Fusiliers, just spare a thought for those other lads, the Bogside Volunteers. Just spare a thought for the other lads, the Bogside Volunteers.
There you go, and that is the sound of the Bogside Volunteers. That one from, actually, who was it that on that one? And that was from, let's see, Owen McDonough and the Bogside Men. So I said, it's a song I had never heard that there. That goes to the tune of the Little McGranny's Bin. It does. Like so many songs, they take the air of a different song and put the words to it. So there you go, that's the Bogside Volunteers for Ray Callahan. That's it. He sent me this here picture in here, so he did. Oh, to find it. They're over in Lanzarote, right? And it looks like he took this picture with a potato or a Nokia 3310. I don't know what one it was, but it's very, very fuzzy. Maybe it's all the sun that's going to his eyes and the beer he's had today at up to 2:20 on a Sunday afternoon. Not that I'm jealous at all of you, mate, but yeah, Ray, I won't spicy for you. Hope you're enjoying your time over in Lanzarote. You lucky devils, just make sure you call and see Joey and Bar 67. See, right, Kevin. So Greta Meehan, that's a new name here, watching today on Facebook, looking for Kevin Barry. Joseph McGuy says, Jim, the Garda is on its way for you. Let's see, Maria, mentioned John's friend at the start of the show already. She actually wasn't even listening, right, so I'll just say it again. Hello, will you mention John's friend Claire from Perth? She apparently watches the show every week and has sent a few messages but never gets a shout out. Who's this here? Claire? Now, I have to have a look in that there, but I don't think. Normally anybody that sends me a message, I always sort of maybe reply to them if it's not too melting, or I'll give them a shout out. But listen, my apologies. If Claire, if you watch the show every week, thank you very much, from Perth. So there we go. But I did give you a mention at the start of the show whenever John texted me, so hopefully you were listening there. There we go. Let's see. James says, yeah, we see the old fella's looking after you well. Yes, he's just in there. He was at the parade today, down at the for the March for Truth and Justice in the town party. It was licing down. Everybody got soaked. But yep, he's just brought me up a nice cup of tea here, so thank you very much, and a couple of biscuits. But one thing he did say to mention, if any is, when we're playing out their song, or Viva La Quinta Brigada, there's always, normally Christy mentions a lot of names and stuff in the song, but something I always wondered as well, that when he sings the song and he says, from Derry came a brave young Christian brother who fought and died in Spain. So do any of you know the guy's name? Just before I mention it, my dad just gave me the guy's name here now. So see if any of you know who it was. Probably well, we can get this off Google or not, but let me know. A few of the Derry ones might know. So say in the song, Christy goes, from Derry came a brave young Christian brother who fought and died in Spain. So if any of you know what his name was, let me know. But I have the name here, but just see if any of you know what the name was, and we'll give it a wee shout out. But Studs Lanigan, what's the crack, Studs? Haven't seen you on the whale. Ro, can't wait to see some of the big ass Culture Garda in the new gear. Maybe they catch a few turf. Maybe they'll catch a few turf rustlers up around the hills, Donegal. Yes, as I say, it's not the new uniform isn't very befitting for the non sort of model looking of guards. I have to say it doesn't. Maybe it's a thing they're trying to bloody fat shame people into going to the gym a bit more, so they'll look better in the uniform. Carl Ann says, yeah, going mad here on cocktails, not a happy woman, for God's sake. Right, what are we going to do next? Let's see. What do we have lined up next? What song will we do? We're going to do a song here from my own album. So folks, if any of you are going to Bundoran, I'm going to have the last few of the CDs, the Rebs for Hope CDs that are produced. Actually, there's a few more in the box, so hopefully I'll get rid of them at Bundoran. If any of you want to buy one, you haven't got one yet, so give me a shout in Bundoran on the Saturday or the Sunday. When I'm doing 2 gigs, I'll have the CDs with me. So here's one of the songs that is from the album. It's the great Marty Healy, of course, from one of the main men from Callie's Men, folks. He does his own thing as well. If anybody's might have seen the video I shared yesterday from the main podcast on Facebook, there's a meme going around Derry now. There's actually a birthday card with Marty on it, and it's called Marty for Your Party, and it's very, very funny. But they've done a wee like a sort of meme video for trying to sell the cards, and it's the shop that It's the shop that was selling the cards. So we'll do this here. It's very, very funny. So we're going to check out my Facebook page, folks, for the podcast, and you can watch the video. It's, of course, Marty with his standard horse head outside the shop, singing Horse Outside from the Rubber Bandits, and the words have been amended a wee bit. So here we go. This is Marty Healy, folks, from my album, The Rebs for Hope. This is the Brilliant Bees Wing on Rebel Sundays.
I was 19 when I came to town. They called it summer love. We were burning babies, burning flags, the hawks against the dove. I took a job at the steamy town in Caldron Street, and I fell in love with a laundry girl. She was working next to me. Brown hair zigzagged around her face, and a look of half surprise, like a fox caught in the headlights, the animal in her race. She said to me, oh, can't you see, I'm not the factory kind, and if you don't take me out of here, I'll lose my mind. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. A lost child, well, she was running wild, and she said, as long as there's no place in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. Well, we bust around the market town for picking down in Kent, and we could take your land camping down in Carrow one time and the work was pretty good. She wouldn't wait for the harvest, and he thought we should. Then he said to her, we'll settle down and get a few acres dug. The fire burning in her hearth and babies on the run. She said, oh man, you foolish man, that surely sounds like hell. You may be lord of half the world, you'll not own me as well. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. We were drinking more in those days, and temper streets to pitch. Like a fool I let her run away when she took her ambulance. And the last they heard, she's living rough, way back in the Derby beat. White horse in her hip pocket and a wolf ain't at her feet. And they say she even married once to a man named Romany Brown. Even a gypsy caravan is too much settling down. And they say your flyer is fading now, hard weather and hard booze. Maybe that's the price you pay for the change that you refuse. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing. I miss her more than ever words can say. If I could just taste some of her wildness now, if I could hold her in my arms today, I wouldn't want her any other way.
There we go. Big Mert himself, Marty Healy there for you with Bees Wing from my album. Our folks, Rebs are hoping again. Cheers to Rowan McDonald for letting me use it from one of their albums as well. But much appreciated. The great Marty Healy. Let's see. Anthony Murphy, what is track? Anthony, hello, Rowan, everyone listening from Banto and Patricia and Scarborough. Just got back. Good luck. Cheers, mate, for tuning in today. Now, as I said, I had the name of this guy already, but I was just putting it in there to see if any users knew what the guy's name was, right? So, now, Joseph, if you haven't Googled this here, right, you're talking shit, okay? Because this looks, people like Google straight away. And so here we go. The name you're looking for is Eamon McGrady. Yes, that's his name is Eamon McGrady. Christian brother, Derry City. Fought in the War of Independence, then Spanish Civil War. Came from wealthy cattle dealers in Derry. So if that there wasn't from a Wikipedia page, I don't know what was, mate. But yes, that was definitely the guy's name. That's who it was there. If you can see, my dad brought this up for me. You can see it's already written down, Eamon McGrady. So that's what his name was. That was the Christian brother who fought and died in Spain. It's mentioned in Christy Moore's song, Viva La Quit Regata. Yes, I googled it. Well, at least you're honest, mate. Because if you had maybe changed the words a bit and maybe put your own words in to try and sound like you were actually saying it. But it looks like you've literally copy and pasted the whole bit there from Wikipedia and put it into the comments sections you have. But fair play to you, definitely. I just seen here now it's been announced that the Rangers match against Napoli has been rearranged. it's been put back to the Wednesday, 24 hours, because Police Scotland are saying that because of the National Week of Mourning, they do not have the resources. Terrible, isn't it? Like, but now UEFA is saying this is going to piss a few people off. UEFA have banned all away fans from both legs, so there's going to be no Napoli fans allowed in the Ibrox to watch the match. Plus, there's going to be no away fans allowed in over in Napoli to watch, in Naples to watch the game. And to be honest, knowing Napoli playing Rangers, I think it would have turned into a few wee skirmishes, I have to say, and I think a few cream buns would have been getting hurt severely, going by the Napoli fans' past exchanges with various football teams. So maybe it's a good thing. But so that's what they're saying. The caps on both sides are saying, well, obviously, UEFA have said, on a matter of sporting integrity, as in we don't want to have a riot at both matches, there's going to be no away fans allowed in to watch either match. So, right, so I say James's missus was looking for... love this version of the CD, is definitely a must buy. I love mine. I say James is looking for Maria Farrell for the wife. So I say, so I think, so who was it was looking for Gary Og? I think it was Derek. So we'll do the Gary Og version of this song. Hopefully it'll keep both of us happy. So this is a version that Gary done a while ago. It's just he recorded this here in Chris Cruikshank's studio. It's his version of Maria Farrell. It's very slow, unlike a sort of version of her that anybody else doing. You know, obviously it is a slow ballad, but the way Gary plays it, it's phenomenal. His own sort of take on it. So here we go. This is the ballad of Maria Farrell, and this is for James and Mrs. and any other Gary Og fans out there today. And this is we're putting on the wrong channel. This is the ballad of Maria Farrell, folks, on Rebel Sundays. Here we go, we're going to do the last, we'll have another hour and a half left of the day's show.
Stand and my grave and weep. I am not dead, I do not sleep, do not stand at my grave and cry. Fight for freedom still goes on. So I took up my gun until freedom's day. I pledged to fight for the IRA. I served my time. Strip searches where a pretty's crime. They degraded me, but still they could not see. I'd suffer this to see Ireland free.
Yes, from the Gary Oger here, folks. That is the brilliant Maria Farrell. The Fiat Asset one there. Absolutely beautiful version of that song. On the Gary, that's definitely why he is the GOAT, folks. We always call him GOAT, the greatest of all time. There isn't, nobody can touch him, honestly, of recent years anyway. So I've been lucky enough to do a lot of gigs with Gary Og, play before him and after him, and go on tour with him, a few things. And he's just a gentleman, sound guy, and just as a musician, he's just out there. So he is. Right, let's see. I have cats. Can you play the 8th of May for all the women? The ones in South Derry, the 8th of May. Let's see. Any news on Cruncher? Actually, well, as far as I'm told now, he's out of hospital, and I think he's in a nursing home. So he is. So obviously he's not great, and he's going to need probably sort of a care for the rest of his days. But I know he's out of hospital, and he's sort of he's doing okay. So he is. So he's being looked after. So it's good. It's good. You know, it was very touch and go about him. So it was so. That's what the latest news is, that he's in a hospital and he's being looked after, so it's great to see. So it is about Cruncher, so there you go. Yeah, nobody can sing this song like Cara McCann. That's the version I normally play on the show, but say like changing about whatever. So yeah, Cara's version is great. That is a great song. Where is Maura the day? Maura's normally first in. Dan Breen says she must have a date. Where we go, maybe she has got a date. Right, so earlier on there, we could ask to play a song obviously for today for Neil, who's over in New York. Today is the 21st anniversary of the September 11th. So it is. It's madness. Like, so it is to think about what happened that day. So we're going to play a song. So obviously, when you look at sort of Irish songs, which sort of talk about New York and America and stuff, and a lot of songs a lot of people relate to. Probably one we can only think of. Sort of it springs straight away. It's talking about obviously the streets of New York. And say this always when I always play a song, it's a sort of very happy song when you hear about. Obviously, we had Derek Warfield on the show there a few weeks ago. He was talking about this song there. They released this year, the latest version of it, and Milo was singing it. And obviously, Derek was talking about the whole song and about the amount of sort of police officers, and thought, was this song about them and whatever and stuff. And it's a very, very sad song as well when you hear obviously about Benji when he was shot down, and then his nephew is busy on his way over to see him, and he's laying in the morgue, whatever and stuff. And it's a bit of a morbid song as well, but it's a very happy and sad song. So I think this is a song a lot of people in America relate to when you think about Ireland. So I'll do this one here. Obviously, we're talking now about the anniversary of September 11th today. So we'll put this wee graphic here on the screen. So, well, folks, while this here song is on, obviously it's a picture, just got there now of Google. So obviously on the left-hand side, you can see the twin towers, and obviously in all their glory and their heyday. And obviously now on the picture on the right is where the two lights are shining up of where the twin towers once stood. So here we go. This is the streets of New York, folks, from the Wolf Tones on Rebel Sunday. Say this song. We'll keep this up for this here graphic up for the whole song. And this is a dedication to the memory of everybody that died in the September 11th text.
I was 18 years old when I went down to Dublin with a fistful of money and a cartload of dreams. Take your time, said me father, stop rushing like hell, and remember all is not what it seems to be. For there's fellas would cut you for the coat on your back, or the watch that you got from your mother. So take care, me young bucko, and mind yourself well, and will you give this wee note to me brother? At the time Uncle Benji was a policeman in Brooklyn, and me father, the youngest, looked after the farm. When a phone call from America said send the lad over, and the old fella said sure it wouldn't do any harm. For I've spent my life working this dirty old ground for a few pints of porter and the smell of a pound, And sure maybe there's something you learn or you'll see, and you can bring it back home, make it easy on me. So I landed at Kennedy, and a big yellow taxi carried me and me bags through the streets and the rain. Well, me poor heart was thumping around with excitement, and I hardly even heard what the driver was saying. We came in the Shore Parkway to the flatlands in Brooklyn, to my uncle's apartment on East 53rd. I was feeling so happy, I was humming a song, and I sang "You're as free as a bird." Well, to shorten the story, what I found out that day was that Benji got shot down in an uptown foray. And while I was flying my way to New York, poor Benji was lying in a coal city morgue. Well, I phoned up the old fella, told him the news. I could tell he could hardly stand up in his shoes, and he wept as he told me, go ahead with the plan, and not to forget, be a proud Irishman. So I went up to Nelly's beside Fordham Road, and I started to learn about lifting the load. But the heaviest thing that I carried that year was the bittersweet thoughts of my hometown so dear. I went home that December 'cause the old fella died. Had to borrow the money from Phil on the side, and all the bright flowers and brass couldn't hide the poor wasted face of me father. I sold up the old farmyard for what it was worth, and into my bag stuck a handful of earth. Then I boarded a train and I caught me a plane, and I found myself back in the US again. It's been 22 years since I've set foot in Dublin. Me kids know to use the correct knife and fork, but I'll never forget the green grass and the rivers as I keep law and order in the streets of New York. Na 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 na.
There we go. That is the streets of New York, folks. Say dedicated today on the anniversary of September 11th. Just as you can see, the graphic on the screen. Obviously, on the left-hand side is the Twin Towers there and all their glory, and on the right is the two, I suppose, lights that I think they shine all the time now, do they? At the evening time. Absolutely crazy. Just think what happened that day. Let's see. Joseph McGuire says, "Yeah, I mean watching and seeing Ian live. It was our Kennedy moment." Yeah, crazy. Like, what is Neil Koskian, yep. Cheers, mate. Great choice. No problem. Marty came. What's the crack, Marty? Well, Ro, what's the crack? How's you doing? What's happening today? You're a bit late coming in. What are we on? You know, an hour and 15 minutes to go for us. Yeah, folks, this is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast. How are you all doing? So if you're watching on Facebook today, thank you. If you can please share the stream, just hit the wee share button. Yeah, any of your sort of Irish music groups, rebel groups, whatever you're watching it on, you can share it on your own personal page. If you're watching today on Twitter, cheers, thanks for joining in. If you can please retweet the stream for me, that'd be much appreciated as well. As normal, we'll have most of the crowd watching on YouTube, so welcome to all users, folks. And what I sort of should say at the start of the show is, for anybody that's watching the show, say tomorrow or next week or whatever, welcome along to you all users as well. I'm going to sort of start trying to say it there at the start of the show, so I am, because I know there's a lot of people that watch this here or sort of listen to it later on in the week, you know, so I'm going to try and put something up in front of me here so I see it straight away whenever I'm starting the show, and more to say, once I'm welcoming everybody onto the show, welcome to everybody as well who is listening like next week or a few weeks later. So thank you to all who are watching, because there is so many people that watch this here maybe on a Monday evening or even tonight, whatever, because you know, by the amount of views that go up, especially on YouTube, say by the end of the day, maybe 300 people could have watched it, and then you look at tomorrow night, up to maybe 1,000 people or 700 people have watched it. So there is so many other people who watch the show later on. You know what I mean? So it's not like, after the show's finished, that's it. Nobody will get a chance to watch it. There is a lot of people who do go and review it. They maybe be working or something or whatever, you know. So let's see. Neil Costigan says, the lights only around the anniversary is lit. Oh, so they only go on whenever the anniversary is. Okay, no problem. There you go. Jim McCaff says, was working on the National Club the day it happened. Yeah, so people have so many stories of what they were doing, especially you can tell that day whenever that terrible tragedy happened. So it did. Right, so who was looking for? So Dan Breen, he was looking for the Two Brentons. So we'll go play Emer's version, and big shout to Emer, who is currently, let's see, only 1 hour and 15 minutes of the show left, and no Damien played yet. That's a crime. Maybe because Terry hasn't been on melting my head yet to remind me to play any Damien Quinn. So listen, Damien's a great friend of the show, great supporter of the show, so we always do play at least one of his songs throughout the day. And it doesn't by choice. I have been flicking through the songs, you know, and when you look at all the different files and all, and his name has come across, but obviously I've maybe played something else, so don't worry, I will play something from Damien Quinn today, mate. So well, Anthony says, hi Ro, hope your daughter had a great birthday last week. Well, she had a great birthday, but basically after the party she was a wee bit sick. Maybe it's to do all the cake and all she shoved in her mouth, but I think it was the start of, she got sick, and then basically a few days later Laura got sick, and then Laura passed it on to me, and I was in a real bad way, and Freddie had to come out of work sick, and then obviously Josie, now she's got it. She was really sick yesterday, and then shut them down, and she'll probably be sick today again. So it all stemmed from I think it was Laura's brother and his missus passed it on. They were sick last week, and whatever it was, I think they gave it to me. So they did, and it just obviously, you know, a sickness bug is like it just sort of passes around and around the house, whatever. So yeah, but apart from that, it was a great day. If anyone's ever been to one of those bloody places that have kids basically climbing frames and bouncy castles and slides and everything, they're absolute murder, absolute torture. So they are not fun at all. So yeah, if you think I had a good day, it was let's just say it was there. So it was. That's a good crack. Ro says, Ro, you have to play Damien Quinn singing Rebel Sundays. He hits the Queen. Now listen, Marty, unless you mention it or not, I'm not going to get into this here, okay? I'm not going to be getting into any Queen bashing at all. I did mention this at the start of the show, so obviously I know Damien says he hates the Queen or whatever, but I'm not going to be getting into, I'm not leaving myself open to be listening to be slobbered at or whatever or stuff. So I made a constant decision, but that I'm not going to be doing any sort of celebratory stuff about the Queen on the show, on the podcast, on the page, whatever. And plus, my page is on its last legs as we speak. I mean, it literally is. I get warnings every single day from Facebook, more or less, of the words of, listen, one more wee thing and we're just going to snap you. Your 16,000 followers are going to be gone like that. Your page is going to be deleted. And I can't afford that, folks. It took me so long to build it up, you know, and I can't sort of have basically be posting something stupid that some people might sort of find funny or whatever, you know what I mean? For my page just to go down like that there. So that's why I've sort of made the decision. I'm not going to go out there and make any sort of derogatory remarks about it or whatever. I mean, we all have our private feelings, but I know why you want me to play that song, Marty, which is it's your own prerogative, but I'm not going to be doing it on the show, so I hope you do understand, mate. Right, so what was I saying about, so we're going to play the Emer's version of the Two Brentons, so Dan was looking for it, and Emer's actually over, I think it's India now, she's walking around, but if any of you are checking out her photos on Facebook and Instagram, she's over basically walking up and down the road of mountains in India, somewhere around these hills. But fair play there. The girl has the life of it. But listen, she works very, very hard and deserves it. So fair play there. So here we go. This is from Emer's album. She recorded live in the Rock, and it seems like years ago now this album was recorded. So it was a few years ago. This is Emer's version of her dad's song, The Two Brentons, especially for Dan Breen, folks. This is Rebel Sundays.
So I'm going to keep on you up on stage again for this next one. I'm going to do another Irish Brigade song. Another one written by my dad, Jerry Glacken here. A song for two volunteers from South Armagh, for Brendan Moley and Brendan Burns. And a song I'm sure you all know, called The Two Brendans. tale of gallant men who in the hills run across McGlen became a living legend in the day. Their daring deeds in freedom's fight shone like a beacon in the night, where Harvey and McVeary showed the way. Let me hear you sing. A song can bring them back again, or heal the wounds, or soothe the pain. A song can only keep alive the name of gallant women and of men, their lives consumed in freedom's flame, and we owe that much to Molly and to Burns. A pall of smoke blows o'er the land where cruel fate had played its hand. The two Brendans would have chose no other way. Well, they died the way they'd want to go, in action against the British foe. They lived and died to serve the IRA. Let me hear you sing. A song can bring them back again, or heal the wounds, or soothe the pain. A song can only keep alive the names of gallant women and of men, their lives consumed in freedom's flame, and we owe that much to Molly and to Burns. In Crossmaglen and Drummondtee we keep alive their memories. In Silverbridge we speak their names with pride. And from Dorsey down to Kittytown, through generations we'll pass on their exploits and the cause for which they died. Never hear you sing. A song can bring them back again, or heal the wounds, or soothe the pain. A song can only keep alive the name of gallant women and of men, their lives consumed in freedom's flame, and we owe that much to Molly and to Burns. We're a special kind of people here. We breed defiance, never fear, and we'll still be here when the tide against England turns. Over in our hearts we know we're right, and we never will give up the fight. We owe that much to Molly and to Burns. A song can bring them back again, or heal the wounds, or soothe the pain. A song can only keep alive the names of gallant women and of men, their lives consumed in freedom's flame, and we owe that much to Molly and to Burns. We salute you, Brendan, Molly and Brendan Burns.
Laura McGill, yeah. Soon of Emer there, folks, with her version of the two Brentons, her dad's very own song, recorded live at the Rock Bar, especially with Dan Breen, that one. So I just had a sort of a digital rap on the knuckles here twice. So I have James says India my ass. She's in North Africa. Derek says no, Morocco row with coach in the gang. So she's in the mountains of Morocco or North Africa, not in India. So my apologies. I thought it was India. Maybe it's just she's been posting a lot on Facebook and Instagram recently, and I thought she said she was in India. So my apologies, Emer. I'm sure you aren't listening today from the hills and mountains of Morocco, like you are. But if you were, my apologies. I thought it was India you were in. So there you go. I've been obviously James and Derek have paid a lot more attention to our posts than I have been. So you have. Let's see. Derek says, yeah, great version with Anya. Definitely is. Yes, Anya is another one of the very, very talented Glacken sisters in the Glacken family. She doesn't do a lot of gigs with the Irish Brigade these days, and when she does, it's great to see her playing. Joseph McGuire says, Ro, belated to your daughter's birthday. It's our wee granddaughter who is 5 years today. So happy birthday for both wee girls, yours and ours. Hill. What's your wee granddaughter's name, mate? I'll give her a wee shout out on her 5th birthday today. James R says, myself and Jerry are off to Liverpool to see her live the weekend after Bundoran. So she needs to get a move on climbing these mountains. Joseph wrote, I've recently traced my family roots basically from County Cavan. My granny was from Crossmaglen. Are you anything to William? Do you mean Edward? You know about Edward Carson? Don't you? There's a William Carson. You know about Edward Carson? Did you check that out? I don't think we are anyway, to be honest. I think our family roots more go back to like Scotland than anything. Where my granny is from, like in sort of Inverness direction. I don't think we're anything by we're anything to Edward Carson. Well, I would hope not anyway. Like, let's see. Carlan, what is crack? Carlan says, can you play anything by Dan McCabe? Terry, if I can't get Rebel Sunday now, please. Good call, Carlan. Right, so we'll go to this here one spicy for I got this here sent in by Valerie, who is says, Ro, you play Damien for Terry from her Dublin husband. Just been sent this here picture. And look at this here, the two of them watching today's show, big TV behind them, absolutely phenomenal. So for a play this, getting there, sipping the cocktails. It looks like a cracking bar. So it does. Where he's in the day, looks brilliant. So it does. Right, so we're going to play obviously a Damien Quinn song. Now, I'm not going to play, folks, Rebel Sunday's Day. Normally we'd play it, but just because of what is happening at the minute, you know, and I just don't want to bring any attention on myself. I know people will say, frig him, blah, blah, blah. You play what you want, and it's, folks, I'm not going to do it, basically because of the you know about the whole Hates the Queen bit in Damien's song, and it'll bring a bit of attention on me. They don't want to be getting brought on to me when I don't need, you know. That's the only reason. I mean, I would have no problem playing any other week. But I think just the day of obviously what's happening. And I don't need this crap, folks, you know. And that's the only reason I'm not going to do it. So we'll go let's play the ballad of Peter Pepe Rooney. Pepe or Pepe, whatever you want to say it. But this is, we've been playing this song for a few years now on the show. And it's definitely one of the best probably Republican ballads ever written, in my opinion, and obviously it comes from Damien Quinn, and for me this is definitely his best work to date. So it's a phenomenal version of the song. Well, obviously it's the only version, but I mean it's a phenomenal song what Damien's put together about a great volunteer. When you listen to the words of it, obviously you just look back to whenever the funerals of the hunger strikers, when you have had Bobby Sands, when you had the gun salute at Connolly House, of course in the gun salute for Joe McDonnell as well at Connolly House. Peter was one of those men with the rifles in that their farm party. So here we go. This is the ballad of Peter Pepe Rooney, folks, on Rebel Sundays. Especially for James, and we'll do it for Terry as well, who is Mr. Damien Quinn's one and only famous stalker. You going to play? There we go.
I'll tell to you the story of one of Ireland's bravest sons. His name is Pepe Rooney, in St. James's life begun. He was born into a conflict of oppression and of shame. So he took a stand for Ireland to break those English chains. So we'll sing of Pepe Rooney, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. He watched his brother Daniel die, murdered by the Crown. This spurred his fight for freedom. Us crappies won't lie down. He joined a Fenna Erin at 16 years of age, and soon became a volunteer in the Belfast Brigade. So we'll sing a P.P. Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see her smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. He was proud to give the gun salute when they honoured Bobby Sands, and again for Joe MacDonald with his rifle in his hand, beaten and arrested when that funeral was attacked. Did a sentence in the H blocks and then reported back. So we'll sing a P.P. Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see your smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. The fight for Irish freedom led him overseas, to England and to Europe, for Ireland's liberty. He was over in Gibraltar with his comrade Dan McCann, who was murdered with Mairead and Sean, far from their native land. So we'll sing a P.P. Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see your smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32.
Yeah, phenomenal there, folks. That's there's Damien Quinn with the Ballad of P.P. Rooney. Great song, that's what it is. Yeah, this is Rebel Sundays, folks, on the Rebel podcast. We'll have about 55 minutes, well, maybe got another hour of the day's show. We're here at 4 o'clock. So, folks, listen, if you're enjoying the show, you have been over the last few years or the last few months and weeks, whatever, if you're a first-time viewer, a new viewer, whatever, we sort of show, folks, the show sort of relies on, obviously, donations and people have thrown a few quid in. So, if you are watching the show, please, if you've anything to spare, put a pound, you can drop us a wee payment on PayPal or Revolut or whatever. You can see the links over there, folks. my thumb's pointing to. That's the one for Revolut there, and up there is one for PayPal. So just scan your phone over it. It'll bring you in to say, folks, it does cost me a lot of money to do this show every single week. See the way things are going at the minute, and I'm being serious here. See the way things are. We obviously our gas going up, electric's going up, everything, diesel's going up. It could well look, folks, that I might have to start going back to work on a Sunday very, very soon. Of these prices keep going the way they're going, because it's just getting scary, honestly, and it's when they say there's cost of living crisis. I'm busy working two jobs and still struggling, folks. So I don't know how people that are sort of working one job or aren't working at all are coping at all. I just don't know how the hell they're doing it. It's whether it's bloody eat or bloody heat. Do you mean that's do you put money in your electric, or do you buy something to eat, whatever? It's do you put money in the gas, or do you whatever? It's I don't know how people are doing it. It's just crazy, and it needs sort of sorted ASAP. So, folks, to say, I'm enjoying doing the show on a Sunday. Really love doing this here, being in the studio, entertain you all, bring all the guests and all. But say it does sort of rely on a few years sort of throwing a few quid in. So if you can spare anything, be much appreciated. Just drop something in there to PayPal or Revolut, or if any is don't have that there, just send me a wee PM and I can give you the bank link. Say there's a few every week that do send me a wee donation on via like the link on a direct bank payment. So it is much appreciated, folks. We always go on about this every single week, and people might say, he's only on here for the money and stuff, whatever. And I say, I'm definitely not. To say, if I was only on this here for the money, I wouldn't be doing it. It would be basically, as I say, have to go back and be doing gigs on a Sunday. I say the way things are going at the minute, I may have to start doing that there, because it's stuff is just starting to cost too much, folks. So it is, and I may have to start doing this show maybe be it once a month or something, if that's the way things are. So that's just the harsh reality of things, unfortunately. So yeah. So right, let's see what else other comments we have here. What do I have? Let's see. James, listen, I'm not gonna read out your comment, okay? Here, if I know people can see it, but just I don't want to be seen to be, oh, look what he said. You know what I mean? It's obviously that's your own personal opinion, right? So it is. And you may be right by what you've said, but I don't want it sort of coming out through my mouth on the show, on a live show, that I can be sort of brought back to. Do you know what I mean? Let's see, Carlan, in the mud, Carlan, Dan Breen, Rambo. Let's see, what is being said here? So many comments flying through. But somebody was asking me, are we related to Lord Carson? Well, my master said we are related to Frank. Maybe out there as well, yeah. Our family is so messed up as it is, and we're related to Frank Carson. Very, very funny. I don't know, but yeah, we're definitely not related to Frank. I don't think we are anyway, so we aren't. Right, so what we're going to do, say we're going to shoot on, folks. Any more requests, just get them into me. Say we'll have another hour to go today, so if you've asked for a song and I haven't played it yet, ask me again, I'll try and get it on. Somebody asked for a bit of Dan McCabe for Carlan. We'll try and get a Dan McCabe song on now. So we'll do that next. So right, next one we'll go do is a bit of Chris Carney. This is from his album recorded live in Potter Brown's there a while ago. So this is his version of The Boys of the Brigade. And I think The Man Behind the Wire is in this as well, is it? Not sure. Here we go. It'd be helpful if I put the volume up, wouldn't it? There we go.
Oh, Father, why are you so sad on this bright Easter morn, when Irishmen, they are proud and they're glad of the sun where they were born? Oh, son, I see in memory of you afar off distant days, when being just a lad like you, I joined the IRA. Oh, where are the lads that stood with me when history was made? Oh, Brother Green, I want to see the boys of the old brigade. From the hills of Barnes of Walls to Warns was heard by one and all, and from the glen came those brave young men just to answer Ireland's call. 'cause long ago we faced the foe, the overgate and me. And by my side we fought and died, so that Ireland she might be free. Where are the lads, the sons of the king, when history was made? I'll proud agree, I want to see the boys of the overgate. Oh, armoured cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons. Every man must stand behind the man behind the wire. Through the dull streets of Belfast in the dark of early morn, British soldiers came running, wrecking little homes with scorn. Care saw the crying children, driving fathers from their bed. Watch the single helpless mothers, watch the blood pour from their head. Armoured cars and tanks and guns, it came to take away our sons. Every man must stand behind the man behind the wire. Oh, not for them a judge or jury, nor indeed a crime at all. Being Irish means we're guilty, so we're guilty one and all. Round the world a triple echo, Cromwellsmen are here again. England's name again is sunny in the eyes of honest men. Here we go! Armoured cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons. Every man must stand behind the man behind the wire. And now, my boy, I told you why on Easter morning I have sang. As I recall my comrades all of dark old days gone by. Sure I think of men who fought St. Glen with rifles and hand grenades. May heaven keep the men who sleep on the ranks of the overgate. Here we go! Where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Oh, brother Green, I want to see the boys of the... Wait, one more time, let me hear it, here now! Oh, where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Oh, brother Green, I want to see the boys and girls of the old brigade.
Sort of the one and only Chris Carney of you folks. Chris of Erngo Bra. That is from his album recorded live in Potter Browns. This is Rebel Sundays, folks, on the Rebel podcast with myself, Big Ro. Anthony Murphy says on Facebook, Ro, sitting here on the balcony of my partner's apartment, listening to the show. Brilliant. Thank you very much, mate. Brent McCann. Chris Carney, the two Bretons, keep up the great work, mate. I've just played the two Bretons from Emer. They're about 3 songs ago, so I have. Joseph had said, hey, Hail Ro, our wee granddaughter's birthday today. Her name is Alana MacDonald from Loans in Ayrshire, Scotland. Thanks, LL Hill. So happy birthday today to wee Alana, who's 5. Alana MacDonald. So, yep, happy birthday, wee woman. Let's see. Jerry Donnelly says, afternoon on the Guinness. So how about that in prep for Bundoran? City of Chicago, Hills Donegal, and back home in Donegal by the one and only Daniel O'Donnell. How much Guinness have you had, Jerry? See, I don't know if actually, do you really think when you go to the Celtic Festival here, you're going to hear any of these songs? You might maybe hear the City of Chicago, maybe. You might hear the Hills Donegal, but definitely not back home in Donegal. You'll definitely not hear any Daniel O'Donnell anyway, unless Mickey Bell has booked a surprise act this year. Maybe, I don't know, to replace Fianna. Maybe the one and only Daniel O'Donnell that's heading to Bundoran this year. I doubt it very much, but you never know. But listen, I'll definitely not be playing on any Daniel on this show anyway. Not unless I have any a few more beers in me. Terry Crenny, right, a compromise. How about Grace with Bobby Sands' granddaughter? Dahi says, greetings, Ro, great show so far. Thank you very much. I think that's all caught up, is it? Right, so what are we going to do next? We'll have here lined up. So Carl Lamb's looking for a bit of Dan McCabe, right? So sort of, and a lot of times I've been sort of critical of Dan on the show, and I mean, not doubting the guy's a phenomenal singer. my sort of point was that, listen, look, I don't think I was maybe, I like sort of listening to him on YouTube, listening to the odd song, but I think as concerts, for the sort of money he's charging for doing them, he probably needs to be a bit more sort of a bit more of a show on, and it's very sort of dull. Do you know what I mean? It's for somebody that sort of sits down their whole for the whole show. Do you know what I mean? And has maybe a keyboard player beside him and somebody playing a fiddle or a bass guitar or whatever. And it's just very, like, you can only listen to sort of these sort of songs for so long, all night. Do you know what I mean? Like, and for a whole concert of that there, to me, I wouldn't sort of like it. But that's not the fact that Dan is a phenomenal singer. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, probably lockdown has helped him more than anybody. So it has, because lockdown he was sort of putting a lot of his YouTube videos out, and obviously now he has a full on. He's a management company. He's touring all over Ireland. He's been on the Late Late Show and all. And for a period of the lads, listen, go to a song here now. One of probably the best song I've ever heard him singing. It's a Luke Kelly song, right, called "Song for Ireland." Now he done this one on the Late Late Show, but this is one he's recorded in his sort of his home studio in the bedroom. So check this out on Facebook. It's had something like, I say, many views, 1 million. Over 1.5 million views on Facebook. This has had Dan McCabe with a Song for Ireland, folks. We'll have a listen to it. And this is for Carl Ann McCrory. He was looking for a wee bit of Dan McCabe. Here we go.
Walking all the day near tall towers where falcons build their night. Silver wings fly, they know the call of freedom in their breath. Saw black cat against the sky, where twisted rocks they run into the sea. Living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, I asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic Sea, and I sang a song for Ireland. Talking all the day with true friends who try to make you stay. Telling jokes and news and singing songs to pass the night away. Watch the Galway salmon run like silver dancing, darting in the sun. Living on your western shore, I saw summer sunsets, I asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic Sea, and I sang a song for Ireland. Drinking all the day in old pubs where fiddlers love to play. Someone touched the bow, he played a reel at sea, so grand and gay. Stood on Dingle Beach and cast and wild foam, we'd found Atlantic bass. Living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic Sea, and I sang a song for Ireland. Dreaming in the night, I saw land no man had to find. Waking in your dawn, I heard you crying against the morning light. Sleeping where the falcons fly, they twist and turn all in your air blue sky. living on your western shore. Saw summer sunsets a yes or more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and I sang a song for Ireland. I stood by your Atlantic sea and I sang a song for Ireland.
There we go, folks. That is amazing. There's the brilliant Dan McCabe with a song for Ireland on Rebel Sundays. Definitely a bit of debate here happening. Hold on a second, I'll get myself back on the screen again. There we go. Yeah, a bit of a debate happening there just about the Dan McCabe and sort of Luke Kelly stuff. Jim McCaff says, I think it was his best tune to date, Valerie, Come My Little Son, and Carlan. Best up-to-date version of Four Green Fields by Dan McCabe. Actually, I haven't heard that one. I have to have a look into it so well. Brent McCann says, Kathleen Largy, Sniper's Promise, Good Man Row, 32 up the PD. Derek Delaney, Kelly's Men, Horse Outside from Megan and Dara, home from Australia. Geez, they're still home along the home for. Right, I will play that there, but just giving my mother a fair warning on the show before I play this here. Make it it's cut off, but there's a few personification words in this here song that I'm going to play, but they are coming out of my mouth because I know you don't like me letting myself down on the show and I make curse the odd time. Terry says, well, I'm away in a mood. 18 Brits. Terry, Nick, come on. Are you getting these cocktails in you? I told you we can't play it on the show anymore, so we can't. I'm at risk of being banned completely. And the one time I did recently get banned on YouTube was when I played that song, or I'd say McInerney's actually, and that got us cut off. And I can't risk the show being deleted on YouTube or on Facebook because of playing a song. I mean, listen. And so especially as well, I think people don't realise what I'm trying to say here. 18 Brits as well, with the whole Mountbatten thing. What's happening at the minute, folks? It might sound like a good thing to play. It might sound like people's opinions of we should be celebrating about the royal family, about her dying this year, whatever. I'm just not getting into it, okay? And that's the way it is. Folks, it's my prerogative. My apologies if you think I should be busy queen bashing, which I'm not going to. It doesn't mean I have any love for the woman, doesn't mean I have any love for the royal family or the monarchy or whatever. I mean, seeing those videos yesterday of the new King Charles, basically of him, like he couldn't even move away a wee buddy something on his table before he could fill something out, and you could see the way he gets on with his servants. It made me sick watching this here, do you know what I mean? And the way people are basically like crawling over and grovel over this man is disgusting. So I mean, I have no love for the royal family or the monarchy or whatever, but as I said, I'm not going to, especially in the show today, I understand people are drinking and they're having a bit of crack and they're sharing these memes and all of it, but folks, I can't be doing it on this show. That is, don't understand. The thing as well is where I work, I cannot be seen to be doing a lot of the stuff, saying a lot of the things you might want me to say. It might be okay today and there's all a bit of crack. I have to go into work tomorrow and work with a lot of sort of Protestants and people that might find that a bit offensive, you know, and I'm the one who has to deal with it. So it is. And for me personally, folks, I can't be seen to be doing that there. So that's why I've made the decision that I'm not going to be getting into that there over this, especially today anyway, because of the period of what is happening at the minute. So I hope you do understand, you know. To see play mine row, home for a few years. Oh, so are they home on a holiday? They just go home to stay. I don't know what the crack is. Row try it. Goosebumps. Play mine. Union is Christ. Looking for the lid of McGranny's bin. Now, I don't think Damien Quinn recorded that there, Terry. But listen, I'll definitely play it there. The lid of McGranny's bin. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do next, as I say, right. So we're going to play this here song. Plays for Derek, who asked for it, and for Megan, who's home from Australia. So I say to my mother, please don't be shouting at me. This is Marty Healy in his finest. So this is when you picture the band playing this here. Many people was in the bar when they recorded this song. You can watch it on YouTube. Every single one of them. Halfway through the song, Marty Healy rips his top off, and all you hear is "Taps off." I think it's Mickey Kelly shooting in the background. "Taps off," and everybody's all swinging their tops. So if anybody's ever heard the Rubber Bandits, if anyone's in the south will know who they are. There's a song called Horse Outside, but Kelly's Men do their own version. And I play this song a lot, so I do, at various different gigs, and people love it. But there's a few times I've been, Jim, I'm going to play your song after this, okay? So Uncle Nobby's Steamboat is going to be on after this one, okay? So don't worry. Right, so for Derek, this is for you, and for Megan, and what is your son-in-law called again? Let's find it out. So Megan and Dara, this is for them, and so they were looking for Horse Outside. So apologies, folks. There's a few choice words in this song. I'll say a few, quite a few choice words. So if you don't want to listen to it, hit the mute button. So this is Kelly's Men, folks, Horse Outside on Rebel Sundays.
His wedding in a church in Thomas Street. I'm looking at a bridesmaid and she's looking back at me. When the service ends, I ask her if she wants a lift back to the hotel, and if it goes, I'll finger on a ship. She said 50 drives a Mitzi and he offered me a spin, and that drives a Honda, so I might just go with him. And Tara Gidley said he'd bring me in a Subaru. So what the fuck would make you think I'd wanna go with you? I said, fuck your Honda Civic, I've a horse outside. Fuck your Subaru, I have a horse outside. Fuck your Mitsubishi, I've a horse outside. If you're looking for a ride, I've a horse outside. She said, I don't believe you. I said, it's fucking true. I sold them for a bag of yolks in 1992. I don't need insurance, I don't need no parking space. And if you try to climb my horse and kick you in the face, I don't pay no tax, fucking CT. You'll arrive in style if you ride with me. And the boys are looking over, jingling their keys. I look the fuckers up and down and give them one of these. Come on! Fuck your Honda Civic, I've a horse outside. Fuck your Subaru, I have a horse outside. Fuck your Mitsubishi, I've a horse outside. If you're looking for a ride, I've a horse outside. I say giddy up, oh baby, bless my soul. I rode the fucker round the field back since he was a fool. He runs a bit like Shergar and he jumps in Tiernan Old. He looks like Arlene Foster after half an ounce of coke. And the lads are looking jealous as I lead your one away. Just before I close the door, I look at her and say, will you be my girl? She said, yes, I will, of course, if you can have me by the ponytail and ride me like a horse. Fuck your Honda Civic, I've a horse outside. Fuck your Subaru, I have a horse outside. Fuck your Mitsubishi, I've a horse outside. If you're looking for a ride, I've a horse outside. I said fuck your Honda Civic, I've a horse outside. Fuck your Subaru, I have a horse outside. Fuck your Mitsubishi, I've a horse outside. If you're looking for a ride, I've a horse outside.
There we go, folks. I just seen I lost about 30 viewers there while that song was on. So to my mother and everybody else, to my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my father, everybody else who's listening, who may have found that song very offensive. Sorry, but it had to be done. It's a song I play a lot. It's a original song by the Rubber Bandits. So it is from Dublin. From Dublin, Blame Boy is. So there definitely was a few choice words on it. He says, Carnal McCrory, God help us. Joseph McGuy says, my wee ma just blessed herself passing. Jesus Christ. She probably walked past listening to that song, going, oh, Jill. So yeah, that was it's definitely a party piece for Kelly's Men. So it is. I think that when we're in Derry there, playing the gig there at the Derry City Sports and Social Club, that was the last song they played, and actually they had Kieran Davenport up as well, playing with them. So there you go. So listen, folks, just want to do a shout out to Let's see. So to shout out to Jerry Donnelly is actually Jerry. Thanks very much for the donation today, mate. It's much appreciated. Thank you very much, seriously. The James as well. Everybody else who's threw us a few quid in. These are all legends. So Jerry is going to be working over in France before they head over to Bundoran. So James just said, make sure you keep a few quid back, a few euros back, so you can buy us a pint in Bundoran. So yeah, folks, it's going to be. They're from Limerick, are they? They're Limerick City. You see, Carla McCrory. What a load of crap. Well, see, Carla, listen, we can't have songs everybody likes all the time on the show, you know, but that, you mightn't like that song, but it's a legendary tune. So many people love that song, you know. A lot of songs you might like people go, that's shit. I mean, whatever. It's just one of those songs. A lot of people do it. Like it. In Ireland, it's a legendary song. A Horse Outside, you know, from the Rubber Bandits. Kelly's Men are just phenomenal. Their version of it is phenomenal. Marty Healy's just, there you go. Oh Jesus Christ. So they're from Limerick. They go, that's what Blind Boy is from. He's from Limerick, you see, you know. I've listened to his podcast a few times, so I have Blind Boy. It's very, very funny, I have to say, you know. Right, so yes, so Jerry and Derek, James, hopefully can't wait to see us in Bundoran. Folks, so this is the way it's going to be. So in Bundoran, 2 weeks' time, there isn't going to be a Rebel Sunday show as we're normally doing, because obviously, so I'm going to probably do my show on the Saturday afternoon, live outside Paris. So I'll just put the flyer up again, so you know, 20s are going to be heading to Bundoran, or in 2 weeks' time, if you're wondering what's happening with the show, why it isn't on as normal. So the last weekend in September, okay, I'm going to be in Bundoran at the annual Hills Donegal Celtic Supporters Festival. It's a massive weekend. It hasn't been on since 2019. This is the first year back in a few years. So on Saturday the 24th, we'll be doing a live podcast outside Paris on the main street, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Myself, Big Row, and a few guests. Hopefully that man Marty Healy, who we just mentioned, is going to be doing a few tunes for us. He might even do Horse Outside with a bit of luck. So he might, and then the next day, obviously I won't be doing Rebel Sundays because I'm going to be doing this here. But hopefully if I can get decent Wi-Fi, I'll be broadcasting the whole thing live, which would be great. So in the Allingham Arms, as part of the festival, on Sunday the 25th, we're going to be doing a Q&A plus a meet and greet with Alan Thompson and John Fallon, folks, two great legendary Celtic players, to be hosted myself, Big Row. So hopefully if I do have decent Wi-Fi, I'll be having the camera on and we can film the whole thing. But that day, on Sunday 25th, we're not going to have Rebel Sundays because we're going to be live in Bundoran. So hopefully you understand, and hopefully see a few of you there. I know you, and a lot of you that are here are going to be at the festival, folks. See you are. So Terry, I've already played Damien Quinn. The many Damien Quinn songs. How many Damien Quinn songs do you want me to play today, for God's sake? I know, Carlan, calm down. Are you a Carlan or a Karen, for God's sake? It's a classic. You see, there we go. It's a classic indeed. Right, so from a bit of personification from the Rubber Bandits / Kelly's Men to this here. We'll do this one for Jim McCaff. Here we go. This is the Will Tones with a great song, Uncle Nobby Steamboat. Oh, madness.
Come for a trip on Uncle Nobby's steamboat, where you can hide your worries on a high float, and we'll take a trip to leprechauns and shamrocks and hide our minds and troubles for a while. And we're going where the grass is growing green, to this digger land that no one else has seen, where oblivion takes the mind's reality and reality fades into a memory. Captain Bluebird gives a smile at the gangway side to greet you, the first mate by his side with a work card if he needs you. They take you to your berth, your cabin's cool and cozy, full steam ahead, we're ready for to go. And we're going where the grass is growing green, to
a mystical land that no one else has seen, where oblivion takes the mind's reality, and reality fades into a memory.
Now we're off to Tirnanog. The goddess of love is Grania, who Colin can't get in. In his coat he has no Fania, the fairies and the witch. The banshee's drinking brandy, Uncle Nobby, at last he's in command.
And we're going where the grass is growing green, to a mystical land that no one else has seen, where oblivion takes the mind's reality, and reality fades into a memory. Growing green, to a mystical land that no one else has seen, where oblivion takes the mind's reality, and reality fades into a memory.
There we go. Some of the Wolf Tones, and I think I might have that song maybe got cut off there on Facebook. I will know a wee second. You know, it's time to know one of the numbers, so drop down a good bit. That's Facebook has been cut off. But listen, we've been on now for 2 hours. 2 hours and 40 minutes so far, and we're still on Facebook. So there we go. Barra, is it Barra or Barra? Right, could you please play the Little McGranny's? Now, come on. I'm going to play the Little McGranny's Bin, okay, next. But listen, I'm not going to get into this, folks. I'm saying today because I can't be seen to be making any comments towards this subject. Although you may find it funny and whatever, and it could be, but the way things are at the minute, folks, I can't be doing it on the show. So I hope you do understand. It's not to make me my personal opinion. I might have things I want to say, but I can't be saying them. That's it. Let's see. Anthony says, Ro, what's going on with your transmission? It's not right. Something is streaming in. Maybe just be my network. Could be yours. It seems everybody else is all saying there's something going on. That maybe what I would advise stream it is just sometimes Facebook. It's a bit stranger than YouTube. So I would say close your page down, Anthony, and just restart it again. And could be just your connection to your Wi-Fi or something, you know. So no, we are all still here. No, so Facebook's still okay, no problem. Right, yes, we are going to play Little McGranny's Bin in 2 songs time, right? Let's see, Jim McCaff says, I believe you bumped into my wee bro, Alec. I have photos LOL outside McAnally's. Oh, is that your brother, Jim? Ah, yes, there you go, yes. Actually, I seen him at the concert as well. There you go. Yes, I have photos there of them. I think they're going to the gig and the Rocks they are. Yes, I've seen them. Then we bumped them. Let's say the toilets in the park that night as well at the Wolf Tones gig. So yes, that's your brother. I didn't know that now. There we go. Alex McCaff. I put a name to the face there. There we go. So Arthur Taylor. What's the crack, Arthur? Not a problem. Dale, your choice. All different music ways. Arthur Taylor, good afternoon from Paradise Way. What's correct? Afternoon. Ours is perfect here. You just right, blah, blah, right. So what's the next tune we're going to do? We're going to do a song from Stefan, folks. Good, great fan of the show. He's just back from Lanzarote. So he was playing there in Bar 67. He's playing McCardle's night. His first, obviously, if you're following Stefan on Facebook, he put out like a live video there a couple of weeks ago, more or less saying that from this week onwards, he's going to be travelling around on a Sunday for the last lot of years. He more or less made his name as a resident in the Rock and Nancy Mulligan's doing Rebel Sundays, and he's been restricted to doing, and obviously for a Sunday is the main Rebel gig anywhere over Ireland, so he was restricted to playing Rebel gigs on the Rock and Nancy Mulligan's for the last few years. So he more or less made his constant choice that he's going to pull out of doing them 2 residencies that made his name more or less and start travelling. So the night is his first gig on a Sunday outside of those 2 venues. So he's going to be playing at McCardle's there in Carrickmacross. So if anybody's about there, pop in and see him. So we're going to do a song here live from Stefan's brand new album, Rebel Heart. Phenomenal album, folks. Check this out. It's on Spotify. You can get it. It might be out in CD in the near future, but at the minute it's only out on Spotify. But it's a great song here. I'm glad he put this on the album. It's a song called Remember Darky Hughes. Of course, you know the Dark, Brenton Hughes, absolute legend, folks, here in West Belfast. And it's a different perspective of his life. And this song lasts over 5, nearly 6 minutes. But just listen to the whole words of this song, folks. And it is very sad. So at the end, when you listen to when he's talking about he's living in a flat in Davis Flats, and he's working on a building site for £100 a week, you know, as a labourer, and it is very, very sad when you listen to. So that's the way sort of the Dark went in the end, you know. So this is Remember Darky Hughes, folks, from Stefan on Rebel Sundays.
Oh, Darky dear, we used to hear you talk of days gone by, of the awful cost and the friends you lost, why they chose to die. I heard of hell in a head's block cell, all the things they put you through. Please tell us why, before you die, why you did them things. Oh, son, I fought for freedom and the dignity of man, for a land that we could carve from stone and a destiny we'd planned. I put my faith in comrades first and leaders only then, and the dogs we rose from the Davis streets like gods and fighting men. Lashed out at the enemy on those rainy Belfast streets. We suffered too, we lost our best, but we learned from our defeats. With bombs we changed the Belfast maps, for we knew no other route. And when those English coffins passed like comets, we salute. Oh, they came for me one morning and they battered me in rage. They kicked me round those narrow streets, then they dragged me to their cage, where I lived with Tommy Tolan and the gallant Bobby Sands. We dreamt of Irish freedom, there we'd sing and make our plans. Oh, birdie, 1 year later I escaped into the night. I didn't lie low on the run, sure I had a war to fight. I lived in leafy suburbs where the enemy pleased well, and early one morning I arose and gave them hell. Haunted night and morning I was captured once again and sentenced to the Hitch blocks. I returned to tortured men and labelled now as gangsters by the servants of the crown. We wrapped ourselves in blankets and prepared to face them down. Oh son, I hope you never feel the pain that we went through. Freezing cold in our own ways, we were battered black and blue. I heard brave men cry out to God, sure I held them as they cried. And I felt my heart burst out my skin as our hunger strikers died. But when my war was over, I returned to Devil's Tower. And it hurt to see my comrades change in their struggle to take part. Instead I worked on a building site for £100 a week. And I asked myself, what was it all for if my neighbours were still me? Now son, I leave you with this thought, and I'll pass into the night. I hope you know I done my best, I did what I thought was right. And I hope that God will understand if what I did was wrong. Stay true to you, the Republic, to forget me and move on. Stay true to you, the Republic, to forget me and move on.
Folks, what a song that is. Just listen to the words that just near the end of it there. It's many as knew who Darky was. I had sort of great privilege to be in his company a lot of times. Went to America with him, so we did with our new flute band. Spent 2 weeks with him, travelling around America, busy in Cleveland, and on the plane, and sat with a few drinks with him and stuff. Got a lot of stories and all told by him, and just when you think of what that man did, you know what I mean, and for the cause, and like just look what happened to him near the end, you know what I mean. It's just, and then when you sort of look now at a lot of the sort of people who are up in Stormont and living in big houses and basically have their own properties, they have 3 and 4 houses and they're renting them out, whatever and stuff. And when you listen to him, that song, it really gets you. And basically what he's saying is like, I'm back in Devil's Tower, I'm working on a building site, labouring for £100 a week, and what was it all worth? What have I done all this for? Do you know what I mean? And it's a bit sickening in a way, you know, the way that man was treated at the end, and he was vilified at the end, and very, very sad, so, folks. But listen, Stefan, the way he has done that song, listen, fair play to him, mate. I've told that a few times, but just when you get to listen to the whole song and breathe it in, it's a phenomenal song. So fair play, Stefan. Let's see. Let's see. Joseph put up here. Joseph McGuy says, Ro, it shows the kindness of strangers. Brother's wee dog, Shamrock, died on Thursday, aged 16. That's old for a dog, isn't it? A kind stranger seen the post, and he gave him 4 Garth Brooks tickets away for nothing, and they went to the concert on Friday. So there you go, fair play. I have to say, seeing loads of people posting last night about Garth Brooks the night before. Now, I think some people were saying like the minimum they had to walk was like 40 minutes to the stadium from where they were parking at. Like, that's a brave way to walk, especially of what was licensed down. Like, so I think that's the only thing about Croke Park from where it's situated. That's supposedly in match day as well, and that's the only thing as well. I will say, whenever Casement does get built, hopefully it'll be starting soon. Where's people going to park? Because where it is on the middle of Allentown Road, where it's going to be like a 35,000, 40,000 seater stadium. Where are they expecting people, at least probably 20,000 cars, or it is, to park? You know what I mean? Where are these people going to park? I've seen Casement on match days before when it was open and stuff, and it was mad, horrendous. So I think this definitely needs to be sorted out. But let's see. James says, Darky gave us all no more could he ask of anyone. Right, so what do I do next? Yeah, so a few people that asked for us here, one looking for the Little McGranny's Bin, and this is a version. I think it's only sort of a few versions are on Facebook or on Spotify and YouTube, but I like this here Blackthorn version. It's an older one as well. So it is. I already played Scapegoats Shane earlier on in the show, so maybe gonna be listening back later on tomorrow. But I played Christy Moore version earlier on. And if you do listen back, that's the one song that people are all saying it was very loud, or it was a real shitty version of the song. So but apologies, mate, but it was played on the show earlier on already. Somebody else as well said they're looking for a song that I played earlier on. Looking for Carl Ann said Only Our Rivers Run Free. Yep, I played the Kathleen Largy version of that song earlier on the show as well. So here we go, folks, down to the last few tunes of the day, and this is Blackthorn with the Little McGranny's Bin.
As I was climbing into bed, my poor old granny said, I looked out of the window and the army had arrived. The house was soon surrounded, they battered the front door in. I knew they'd come to take away the little me granny's bin, and it was scream, bang, shout, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. She opened up the window and she clambered down a spout. Soon her bin was rattling for to call the neighbours out. She then took out a whistle and she blew away like hell. And soon we heard the echo as the neighbours blew as well. And it was scream, bang, shout, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. A soldier came right up the stairs, his rifle in his hand. She kicked him with her button boots and along the hall she ran. Then up and stepped another one, some medals for to win. But all he got right up the gob was a little me granny's bin. And it was scream, bang, shout, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. The music rose like thunder as the bins and whistles played. The army soon retreated, they knew they'd overstead. It wasn't made of silver, it was only made of tin. But once again it saved the street, the little me granny's bin. And it was scream, bang, shout, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Now war has had its weapons since men began to fight, and everyone has different ways to try and show their might. The army has tried everything to cover up its sins, and now the plastic bullets fail, they're trying plastic bins. And it was scream, bang, shout, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Go home, kind friends, and go to bed, sleep as best you can. But if trouble comes along, get out and lend a hand. To all you fair young ladies, if trouble does begin, get out into your backyard, love, and rattle away at your bin. And it was scream, bang, shout, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. And it was scream, bang, shout, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in.
Yeah, it's Blackthorn there, folks, for you, with the Little McGranny's Bin. This is Rebel Sundays, folks. We're near at the end of the show today, so again, thanks to you all. It's been a great show. We got through the full 3 hours on Facebook without being cut off, and I think what it tells you is, folks, we'll have, see, when it shows you the whole sort of fascism and the sort of anti-republicanism that Facebook has, we haven't played one song from Bick McFarland. I mentioned his name, Bick McFarland. We haven't played one song from the Irish Brigade, on the day's show, and Facebook hasn't cut us off. So it just shows you madness, which is it's disgusting. Don't be wrong, I love playing the tracks, me guys on the show, but the 1 week I don't play any of the stuff from them, and we've got a whole show from Facebook. But this, there you go. Jim McCaff says, yeah, thanks, Ro. Powerful as usual. Hail, my friend. Fair play. I'll bump into you someday. Give you a few squid. Well, good man yourself. James says, I had a few friends across. They ended up paying £900 each. £900 each for a hotel room for 2 nights. But they all said it was worth it. Really enjoyed every moment of the show Garth put on. Yeah, from anybody I've seen seen loads of videos on Facebook and all. He played from like 8 to 10 and didn't take a break, and every song, all the big hits was on, like, so yeah, it looked brilliant. Fair play to him. Now I've just seen here, I'll have to laugh, when you talk about this whole thing with the Queen and all, and it's the more stuff you see posted about it, it's sort of, you go, Jesus Christ. So now the Duke, basically Andrew, right, and his ex-wife Sarah Yorkie, they've been given the dogs, the Queen's dogs to take care of. So that's what the trust Andrew with. They've been giving him the dogs, so they have to look after. God help them poor corgis of him and your woman are going to be looking after them for the rest of their days, for God's sake. Let's see, the Chancellors. How's this here, lads? How's doing? It's a new American band there, is it? The Chancellors. The Chancellors, loving the tunes, boss. Thank you very much, lads. Cheers for tuning in today. Derek Lenny, great show as always. Hail, Dan Breen. Yep, great show as always. Yeah, folks, listen, thank you to us all. Everyone that's given us a donation to the show today. A few donations have come in there at the end. You all know who you are. Thank you very much, folks. Honestly, really, really much appreciated. So thank you. Right, so we're going to finish up this here song here, as always, what we always do. Towards the end of the show, we'll play Jackie Duddy, folks, from Dougie Breslin. So I think today as well, we'll mention at the top of the show, our folks today, the city of Derry is mourning at the minute with the loss of former blanket man Donald McNallis. So shout out to Mary Nallis and all the clan there in Derry mourning Donald this weekend. So we're going to do this here song. So we always do this song at the end of the show, but I think probably more of the day. It's great to finish up with a Derry song in memory of Donald. So here we go, folks. This is your last song of the day again. Thank you. I'll be back next Sunday. So we'll just myself again next week. No guests. Probably won't have another guest until we're back from Bundoran. So let's go work, folks. Next Sunday, okay? It's just myself again. Then the following week, we're going to be in Bundoran, so we'll have the live show on the Saturday afternoon at St. Paris, and then we'll be hopefully broadcasting on the Sunday with the live question and answer session with Alan Thompson and John Fallon, so that'll be fantastic. So here we go. This is your last song of the day, folks. Again, thank you very much. This is Dougie Breslin, folks, with Jackie Duddy on Rebel Sunday. So I'll see you all next Sunday, and thank you. Cheers.
Jackie, I remember your face from a far distant place. Yes, I do. Jackie, you were an innocent boy. Why did they destroy your future road to you? You came from a home of 9 sisters and 5 brothers. Up in the Craigan, you were my cousin. You worked with me brother Dustin, named after me father, down in springtime, tending looms. Jackie, you were just 17 when they shattered your dreams, and we never got over it. Jackie, you'd have found a good wife and had a wonderful life and raised your weans well. In 68, your mother Maureen, she died, and with Willie, your father, we cried. She was so very young. Her sister Dolly said if Maureen had survived, she'd have been in the coffin by your side. Your mother couldn't have coped. Jackie, you were good in the ring, 'cause that was your thing. You would have been a champion. Jackie, your nephew John did you proud. He's recognized by the crowd as fulfilling your ambitions.
Your face is painted in murals down in the bog, and I pray to God that you'll not be forgotten. That day in 72, it's etched on our minds, the day that innocents died. They called it Bloody Sunday. Jackie, there were 13 others as well, more unfinished stories to tell. Jackie, 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 our Jackie, Jackie Duddy. On a summer's day in Derry in 2010, thousands gathered again, and the world had gone. The British government said sorry and admitted they're wrong. The clapping went on and on, the cheering went on and on. Jackie, your innocence was declared, your family's voices were heard after 38 years. Jackie, now you can rest in peace. The false accusations have ceased. The truth has been set free. Connie Doherty, Gerald Donaghy, Hugh Gilmore and Michael Kelly, Michael McDade, Kevin McElhenney, Bernard McGuigan and Gerald McKinney, William McKinney, William Nash, James Ray, John Johnston, John Young and Jackie Duddy.
Yes, Jackie Duddy here, folks, from Jerry, Dougie Breslin. To finish up the show today, folks, again, that there's in memory again of a great Derry Republican, Donald McNallis, who passed away there recently and is being mourned in Derry this weekend. So thinking of all the Derry clan and the McNallis clan up in Derry here, folks. So listen, that's us. Thank you very much. Just over 4 o'clock. So cheers to you all who have commented today, put requests in, give us donations and all. Great crack. Just on Arthur Taylor, just said here, we're only back in Glasgow, bud. Mate, hopefully it's going to be looking like next May. We're be penciling another weekend. So I think I'm going to be doing another weekend with Clover. Rebel Band doing another of the Northmen, Southmen weekends. But I think the same, we're going to be concentrating just on Scotland. So we're looking at a few venues now, but I think we'll have Malone's for the Friday booked again anyway, so we're going to be starting off on the Friday night Malone's on I think it's the first weekend in May as far as I know, so I need to get that there clarified, but it's looking like that the first weekend in May we're going to be going over to do another Northmen Southmen tour, so looking forward to that. So we're just looking at another couple of venues now to see where we could actually do it. So Derek, or just talking about the dogs, wouldn't trust them to mind each other. You're just right, mate. John Boy says, yep, can't wait to meet you up in Bundoran again, mate. Yes, definitely. We'll get a few Venoms together, so all this time, get a few drinks. Definitely. Did Glasgow, where you come to did Glasgow when you come to Birmingham? James, listen, I will come over to Birmingham next week, so I would. But listen, it's not as easy, you know what I mean? If we could get a tour over and do something, we'd go over and do it, but it's the logistics of the thing, getting something organised and getting a bar that's going to basically pay, you know what I mean, whatever, to bring the band across, whatever, or that kind of thing. Nobody's going to bring me over just for myself, you know what I mean? It's unless you want me to just come over and I'll play in your garden and do a gig for you, which might be a bad idea, you know. So listen, make it to Birmingham Monday. It's a place I always want to go to. Right, so we're going to finish up as always, folks, with Around the Vein. So here we go. Always play the Gary Oak version of this tune. So folks, I'll see you all next Sunday. Thank you very much as always for tuning in. See you all next week. Thank you very much. Here we go.
a taffy alligator. Queens are slow, her tender on the cool. They push face hair, chanting a shimshire pasta. The upper Pantera not the top, and dots I in Sabarwell. They gone their kill on was no sill. They gone their scrape. They labot now be lit. Charlotte cannon around the veil.
You've been listening to Rebel Rebel podcast of Rory Carson. To listen to this and past episodes again, and to also check out future episodes, keep an eye on our official SoundCloud page. We're also available on all social media outlets. Just search Rebel Rebel podcast. Bhí sé bhgéisteach an sin leis an fád cruailí Rebel Rebel le Rory McCarson. Le héisteach le seo agus hir hagran a ríis, agus na hagran atá le teach, caisúil ar siú ethical sugin ar SoundCloud, agus táid ar fáil ar gach cinneal ardan ar na main thuisiilta. Ní mór ditch ag fád cruailí Rebel Rebel a curda.